So, guys, we're live, guys. We're live, guys. My people, this is the Chelsea Roundtable, guys. We talked about Chelsea. So, guys, talk about Chelsea. We'll discuss about the transfer, what is going on around the social media in terms of transfer, the takeovers and everything. So we discussed so much about Chelsea in terms of players coming in, players going out, um comunicado official to Antonio Rudiger that has been officially gone to Real Madrid. I wish him best of luck. Rudiger, best of luck to you, brother. Go smash the money, bro. And enjoy yourself, brother. Hala Madrid, bro. So once again, I'll talk about some of the transfers: Kounde, Koulibaly, Dembele, Marina Ganaskia, Christian Pulisic, and everything. As we look forward to the upcoming summer that's going to be coming up this year, what are the players we can buy, the potential players that can buy, and also we're going to talk about Romelu Lukaku because I've been hearing some conflicting news going around here in terms of him, this and that and that and that about him. So we'll have that discussion about him, and also we'll make sure that we touch on things that need to be touched. Like the vid, subscribe, guys, subscribe, smash the like button, guys, like the vid, subscribe, smash the like button, like the vid, subscribe, smash the like button, guys, smash the like button. I beg, support, help, smash the like button, guys. Let's go. So my people, I wanna do now. I hope you guys are doing fine. Like the vid, subscribe, like the vid, subscribe, like the vid, subscribe. So we're gonna be talking about firstly, let's talk about Rudiger because it is official. Antonio Rudiger will be moving to Real Madrid. Uh, wish him best of luck, brother. Go smack the money, bro. You deserve very good things in life, bro. Go make that money, bro. Some Chelsea fans has been angry about with the guy leaving. Get the guy has to make money, guys. He has to make money, guys. So whatever you guys say, the guy has to make money, and he isn't going to the bad club. He's going to Madrid in the champions of the world right now. So guys, you gotta respect his decision making in terms of him choosing Madrid. He hasn't been a bad player, but we as a Chelsea fans, we respect you. We say thank you very much, Antonio Rudiger, for what you've given us. You came as a boy, you left as a man. So we respect your opinion. We we respect your opinion, Rudiger, and we can't see nothing more to say than to just thank you because you've been a very successful player for us in terms of going forward. So we respect your opinion. So regardless of what people say, I respect you going to Madrid and smashing it there. You deserve it, man. You deserve it. Go to Madrid and show how good you are, and it's gonna be, it will make La Liga more interesting because now everybody's gonna be watching Madrid more in terms of, oh, let's see how good the guy is. Can they do this? Can they do that? Can they do that? But I'm very sure, I'm very sure that you will smash it in Madrid. Go there, Tony Rudiger. To all Chelsea fans, he's wishing you best of luck there, brother. Best of luck there, bro. And enjoy yourself in Madrid. Hopefully, we can meet again in the UCL and let's ball it out. Let's ball it out together. But enjoy, brother. Enjoy, brother. Enjoy. I wish you best of luck in Madrid. Nothing more to say than wishing you best of luck in Madrid and everything. Just wish you best of luck and enjoy yourself. Thank you, Tony Rudiger. We appreciate you as a Chelsea fans, and we support your decision. In every decision you make, we handsomely support you. We sometimes people might get angry because you made the right decision, bro. I'm not angry. I'm proud. I'm happy you give it all you can in terms of okay. I want to do this. I want to do that. You give it all you can. It's understood. It was a disconnection between Chelsea board and everything. So you give it all you can. There's nothing much we can do because you've given all you can. So what can we do? We can't do much because you've given all your and we all Chelsea fan we wish and to all Madrid fans take care of Antonio Rudiger for us. He's a very wonderful player. Just take care of him for us. We all wish him good. Rudiger, thank you. Best of luck in Madrid. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, that is my position to Antonio Rudiger going to Madrid because it has been confirmed both on Madrid website and the Chelsea website that Antonio Rudiger will leave this summer to join Madrid, and he has already given his appreciation to all the fans and the football world. So, say no more, 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 guys, say no more. So it's understood. We can't say much because he's given his all. So we just have to like wish him best of luck, and all eyes will be on the Spanish La Liga to see how he can perform in terms of the performer. Can he perform more the way he's been performing in terms of okay, this is our performance under Chelsea and under Thomas Tuchel. Can they have that same performance in Madrid with Carlo Ancelotti or whoever the manager is next season? So we're probably gonna see that, but we all Chelsea fans we all wish him best of luck. We wish him best of luck that, and we know and we hope he's gonna go smash it in La Liga. So that's what we can see in terms of that. Wishing him best of luck, Antonio Rudiger. So the next person I want to talk about, my people, is annoying right now. He's freaking annoying right now. We keep talking about him over and over and over again, and at times I'm just sick and tired of talking about him because I'm tired of talking about him. So we must have that discussion about him. We have to have that discussion about him. So it's compulsory. It is important we have that discussion about him. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Uh, so uh, apparently, this man here have decided to sabotage everything and move back to Inter Milan. His name is Romelu Lukaku. So the report we are hearing is at the as of right now, Romelu Lukaku will stay in Chelsea. Based on the discussion I have with them, Steve. Steve told me there was a fraction between Thomas Tuchel and Romelu Lukaku in the Watford match where Mason Mount and then Kai Havertz has to step in that situation of things. It doesn't look good for Lukaku and Thomas Tuchel too. So Tuchel already told Lukaku it's not going to be in his span for next season. Lukaku wants to go already. So this is a confliction matter in terms of how do this stuff work now. So because if Lukaku is fighting Tuchel now, how does it work? Because you're fighting a manager who's going to be put you who are at least just going to be trusted in terms of playing you. Now you're not even performing to the level that the manager can even trust. Now all you can do is fight, fight, fight. For me, I don't really understand what is going on with Romelu Lukaku. He needs to like come out and just come out and talk. Come out and talk and have a discussion because we don't know what is going on in terms of what is going on with him. We don't know what's going on with him in terms of that aspect. All we know in terms of Lukaku is fighting with the manager. You're fighting with the manager who trusts you, who's gonna be putting you in matches, and I don't know how this is gonna work because now if he's gonna be in this in the team next season, if you rather for me, he should rather just get sold. That's what I can say because you can't have unhappy players in the team. It's not possible. The team chemistry will not work because if you're having player like Kounde Lukaku in the team who's not happy, Tuchelle doesn't want to use him, will he be forced to playing or will he stick with his gonna be like, no, it's not gonna be my player. Ah, no, 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 no. Whether you like it or it's not gonna be my player. So that is where we have to make that decision that is it gonna be because I don't think Lukaku mm, will be able with the way he's doing stuff now, for me, it's gonna be an issue because now this is it now. Now you are fighting Thomas Tuchel in terms of because he promised you a playing style, he didn't play you, he didn't give you the playing time you wanted, so you want to leave for Inter Milan. Inter Milan said they want a loan. Why Chelsea said they're not gonna give you a loan? So this is a complicated matter now because you want a loan and the club is not gonna give you a loan. So how does that work in that aspect? That I don't know because now what's what you are doing is you're trying to kind of make sure it works for you in terms of okay now if it doesn't work, mhm, football doesn't work that way because now you have to play for the team. Football is all about team, and if you can't play for the team, it's gonna be a huge problem if you can't play for the team right now because we bought you for a very big fee, and when you bought you for a very big fee, we expect you to perform. That's the minimum we expect you to do. We expect you to perform. That's the minimum. So if you can't perform to the bare minimum, it's gonna be difficult, man. If you can't perform to the bare minimum, it's gonna be difficult, man. So we expect you to perform to the bare minimum, and if you can't perform that, it's gonna be difficult, man. So Lukaku, man, a lot of stuff is gonna be talked about, man. So for me, it's a difficult issue now because now my expectation for Lukaku is okay. Let's give him time because now we're gonna be buying a lot of players this summer. So at least we'll see the best out of Lukaku in terms of scoring goals. We'll have more creative players in the team where who can create and also after being creative, Lukaku will be able to score those goals required for us to at least be able to minimum close the gap on Manchester City and Liverpool. But with what I'm hearing now, it's gonna be difficult, man. It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be very difficult. It's not even helping himself at all. It's not helping himself. It's not. But I'm just tired of talking about this man. Over and over every day we talk about him. This, that. But still, Burokaku tries to be Burokaku. So I don't know what to say, Lukaku, man. You're not really helping yourself, man. I don't know. You're not really helping yourself. If you want to go to Inter Milan, bro, no one is gonna hold you not to go to Inter Milan. You can go. You can piss out and go to Inter Milan, but stop using Chelsea. Stop using Chelsea. It's not good enough. If you want to move, move. If you want to move, move. Stop using Chelsea and because this because no. If you want to move, go. The one is disturbing you not to go. But stop doing this because I'm tired and sick of you going into Milan. I want to do this with Milan. I have a finished business with Inter Milan. Come out and talk because now you fire your agent now. You have a new agent. Okay, you fire your agent. You got a new agent. So what's going on with you? You want to go to Inter Milan? You want to stay in Chelsea? What do you want to do? Because I'm not understanding anymore in terms of Lukaku decision making. I don't get anymore. Right now, I can't even understand what is going on with him now. So I can't even understand what's going on with him now because at this moment it is very annoying. So Lukaku, please, we don't want this toxic stuff in our club. See, if you want to play, play. If you don't want, If you don't want to play, just come out and talk. Just come out and talk. So, because right now it's annoying right now, very very annoying. So, it's very annoying right now. So the Lukaku, this is my advice to you. If you want to go to Inter Milan, you can go to Inter Milan and show yourself, show how good you are. Give all your all your all for Inter Milan. But bro, if you don't want to play for, don't try to kind of sabotage everything with the fans and everything. I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good. As much as I'm a huge fan of Lukaku because I wanted him to come to the club in terms of okay, it will give us those goals we needed. At least can prepare us going forward. So, and as much as yes, it can prepare us going forward. I don't know what it is in terms of Lukaku because it's not been helping matters, man. It's not helping matters. Every day we talk about this. So I don't know. He's freaking annoying right now because he is a goal scorer, and see if the club doesn't trust him to pay that kind of amount of money for him. For me, who can they trust? Who? If they can't trust him to pay that amount of money for him, the club trusted him to pay him that money. So I expected him to perform to the level that needed performance. But he's not performing to the level that needed performance, and he's sickening and annoying for me right now because Lukaku is a goal scorer. So I expect him to come out and like show more in terms of that aspect. But it's not been showing. It's not been showing. It's been piss poor. I don't know. Like ever since the interview and everything, it's not been Lukaku anymore. It's been Bukaku. It's been Lakaka. It's been Timbaland. It's been so many names, and I need him to come out and perform. I don't know what's gonna happen this summer because it's gonna be a long summer. Will he go to Inter Milan? Will he go to Bayern? I'm also hearing some conflicting news that he might go to Bayern Munich because Bayern wants him and Sadio Mane. So because Bayern is gonna lose Serge Gnabry and possibly Lewandowski, so that could work in terms of him going to Bayern because they will create enough chances for him to score those goals. So he's he's a big name in terms of that. So he can go to Bayern and have like what's called he can go to Bayern and score those goals. But it also depends on can Bayern pay the money Chelsea want from for Chelsea want because Chelsea are demanding an high fee. I don't think Bayern will be able to pay that high fee. I don't think so. So I don't think that Bayern will be able to pay that high fee in terms of going forward. So Chelsea are demanding a huge money for Romelu Lukaku. So will Bayern be able to pay that money or without coming down to like maybe like 50 million, 45 million? I don't know. And even if they comment that amount of money for 50 million, 45 million, will Chelsea accept it? Because Chelsea are telling Damian they want loan with obligation to buy. So like I don't know how that will be. I don't know how that will happen. Will Chelsea agree? Because Chelsea are proposing with Inter Milan agree. Inter hasn't even responded yet. Inter hasn't even responded yet. So Chelsea are demanding like a 2 years loan with 2 years loan with obligation to buy, or because they don't want a loan, or they want a permanent sale. And even Chelsea are even demanding for Lautaro Martinez swap deal. So it depends on how Inter Milan can compromise in that aspect. Would they be able to agree? I don't know. Would that work? I don't know. So it depends. It depends. It depends on Inter Milan what is going on with them. And in terms of Bayern too, I don't know because Bayern are known for not paying big money for players. So Bayern are known for not paying big money for players. I don't know how they're gonna cough out 70 million. I don't know how they're gonna cough off 70 million for Lukaku because we all know what Ghana is all about. She would not go less than 70 because she won't go less than 70. How we gonna do that? I don't know because we all know Ghana she's all about business. She's a business lady. So she wants to make business regardless of the situation she has. She wants to make business. So right now, I don't know what's gonna happen in that aspect. So vote for it. What's going? Why are you getting notification now? What's going on? What's going on? I don't know what's gonna happen because Lukaku is putting himself in a dilemma where I'm confused as a fans because we all back him when he came in. After the interview, oh my days in heaven, everything just became up, 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 up. So that is my worry with Lukaku now because my worry with him is you are saying you want to go to Inter Milan, you want to go to Inter Milan, you want to go to Inter Milan. I don't know what's going on in terms of that because you are going to a club where you've been loved. I can understand that. Chelsea is not, you have not been loved in Chelsea, blah, blah, blah. I can understand that. But you cannot be having a fight with your manager at the tunnel after a match, after just being played a match. I don't know. Is he behaving as a big player or what is going on with Romelu Lukaku? I don't know, man, because it's sickening and annoying right now the way he's been behaving. So, people, I'm very sorry. I don't know why you guys are not getting notification early. I sent out the notification out already. I don't know what is going on with YouTube. YouTube, I beg, send my fans some notification. Please stop doing this. I beg. Send them notification. I beg. I beg. Hey, big up, Abdul, big up. So I don't know. Like, it's very sickening right now and annoying because Lukaku is someone that the fans want him to do well. Want him to do well. But the way he's been twerking for Inter Milan recently, I really don't even know what to say about that. I don't know what to say. I don't know. He's been twerking for Inter Milan recently. I don't know how to put it, man. It's sickening and annoying right now. Player of his caliber because now Chelsea want to take a loss on him now. How did they take a loss? Will Chelsea be able to get like 45 for him? I doubt it. So because gonna say she wants 70, proposing a 2-year loan deal plus option to buy. Hey, I don't think Inter Milan has that kind of money to pay for Lukaku. For me, I don't think so. So the best thing for us to do is to sell him permanent. Who's gonna buy him? Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich wants to buy him, but the problem is that do Bayern have 70 million to pay? I don't think. The worry I have is the deal is option to buy. He did well under Conte at Inter. Lukaku never played under Izaki. If he does not do well on loan, he will be sent back to Chelsea. Then what? That's my worry because we need to put obligation there, not even option. But vote for it. I have the belief that I think he will do well. He will do well in Inter because he's been loved in Inter Milan, and when he's been loved, he want to prove a point. Is Lukaku remind me of Fikayo Tomori when we loaned him to AC Milan. He wanted to prove it was an option to buy. He wanted to prove a point to Lampard that you loan me how to AC Milan because I'm not good enough. I'm gonna show you how good I am, and I'm gonna stay here. And look at Fikayo Tomori now. Look at him now. Look at Tomori. Look at him now. So I think Lukaku going into Inter Milan for me, going into Inter Milan might be able to want to prove a point. He might want to prove a point. So he might want to prove a point in terms of I want to prove a point to this club, especially Thomas Tuchelle, who said I'm not good enough. Go there, perform and score good. Then that will tell Inter Milan to sell and to buy. Sorry, rather than sell it. That will tempt them to buy. So they might be able they might want to buy him instead of rather than um maybe they don't have the money to without like option and everything, but because of his performance and the way they are in the league, they might be able to buy him. So it depends. I think he wants to perform and show them that is good enough to be relied on because he's played there before, so he's been loved. So for me, it depends. Though. It depends. Though. It depends. For me, it depends though, because for me, if Lukaku is being loved whenever he goes, I think he tends to perform very very well. So if you go to a club where it's not been loved, it's just no critic player, no wingers there. I think Lukaku will so good. But if he goes to a club where the supporter love him, the fans love him, the manager love him, everybody loves him, we will see the best of Romelu Lukaku. We've seen the best of Lukaku this year, but with the way he's been twerking for Inter Milan as a fan, I'm just like, what is going on with Lukaku? Please? What is going on, man? You sack your agent, you bring a new agent to what? Negotiate with Inter Milan. So Chelsea are not dumb. They are not dumb enough, especially Marina Ganaskia, who will know very well that she will do everything in her power to make money. She will. So you're gonna be telling me you want to propose a 1 year deal for Ganaskia and Chelsea, and you expect Ganaskia to accept that. Marina will not accept. She will tell you, I want to make money. A 2 year deal, load with obligation to buy for 70 or no deal. Get out. That's what Marina is gonna tell you. And the only scenario I can see him going to is Bayern. Bayern wants to buy him. But will Bayern be able to cover 70 million? That I'm not even sure. Because Bayern want to buy the Saad Ganabi wants to go. That's gonna be a replacement for Sadio Mane. Okay. Lewandowski wants to go. They need a goal scorer. Lukaku. Will Bayern be able to pay 70 for Lukaku? I doubt it. Because Bayern is not being run that way. Except they're ready to get him for like a loan with option to buy or obligation to buy, then we'll see. But with that, they have to guarantee that they will pay that obligation because we know Marina very well. She will insert a clause in which that it will be difficult for opposition to buy him. It's complicated right now because of the amount of money they are paying Lukaku. Exactly, more than 50 million. That's my problem. We're gonna scare and say 50 million. I'm not sure. He is demanding a huge lot of money. So right now, I don't know what's going on with Romelu Lukaku. I don't know. He's been doing somehow. You just have to for me. You just have to come out and talk. What is going on? Because you sacked your agent because he was making a wrong decision for you. Brought in a lawyer. You negotiated with Inter Milan, negotiated with Chelsea. Now, what's the decision? Do you want to stay? Do you want to go? We don't know what's going on. Brokaku. We don't know what's going on. So you gotta talk out, bro. We're gonna know what's going on, man. See, vote for it is Bundesliga tax. Relax. Bundesliga tax. Just relax. Bundesliga tax. If Lukaku went to Bundesliga, it will score 30 goals a season. He might even score 40 goals. Bundesliga tax. So that doesn't surprise me because of Bundesliga tax. So I'm not surprised about that. But my problem is the way it's been doing recently, the bust up with the manager. He doesn't demand the respect he needed from his players. It's sickening and annoying right now because we're in this situation where I don't want any negativity towards Chelsea anymore. It's sickening right now, but we are Chelsea. We will always find a way. I trust my club to find a way around Romelu Lukaku and get it right. Samuel, how you doing, bro?
All good, man. All good. How are you?
Yeah, firstly, Romelu Lukaku. What's going on? Because the report we're hearing is Inter Milan are saying they want loan with option. Marina is telling them no, obligation. Without that, we know Lukaku is going nowhere. And the second option is swap deal between Lautaro Martinez and Lukaku. And Lukaku is gonna go there permanently. Inter hasn't responded yet. And the third option is Bayern Munich want Lukaku for 3 years deal. And Chelsea says 70. If you don't pay 70, Lukaku is going nowhere. Now we're stuck now because no one wants to pay that amount of money for Lukaku. And Lukaku said he's gonna cut his wages down regardless of any club he wants to go to. Which is where we
Right.
stand now. Will Bayern pay that amount with 70? I've never seen Bayern pay high fee for a player. Never. Have I ever seen it in history? No. Bayern doesn't run that way. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Your take on Lukaku.
Here's the thing with Lukaku Abdullahi. Like, he's a quality striker. I mean, he's not like a Werner or a Morata. Like, he has a decent amount. He has a good resume of the amount of goals he's scored. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, prior to this season, I would say he's earned his name as one of the, or he had earned his name as one of the best strikers in the world, and rightfully so. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with Lukaku is, I'm not questioning his ability as a striker. I'm not questioning his ability as a player.
Mm-hmm.
I feel he's an amazing player, amazing finisher. And if Lukaku is in the right place, in the right system, with the right people, Lukaku is amazing. Not only as a striker, but also as an assister, also
Mm-hmm.
as a player who links up play. So the thing with Lukaku is, I don't necessarily blame Lukaku. I blame um, our recruitment. So Lukaku is like the biggest indictment on the way we've been doing business over the past few years. What Lukaku represents is an excellent player who has the potential to score goals, or doesn't have the potential, but is recognized on a worldwide scale as a clinical marksman, right? So my problem with Chelsea is that we didn't recognize the fact that he wouldn't fit the system. He we Like
Mm-hmm.
the problem with Chelsea is our scouting department were like, okay, he scored these goals. We look at the highlights. Surely he's going to be able to replicate that, but that's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
There's a totally different side to football. There's chemistry. There's also style of play. There's a league he plays in. Lukaku, in my opinion, is suited for leagues that have like a lot of transitional play and
Mm-hmm.
counter-attacking opportunities. That's not the Premier League, and he has succeeded as a when he was younger. I'm going to admit to that, but a lot of people say he had like better footballing ability in terms of touch and technique.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing with Lukaku. I'm not criticizing him as a player. I feel like he's always been a good player. The problem is we've been incompetent as a club. We haven't been able to recognize what players fit and what players don't fit. Because let's just, I guess, let's look back to that Inter Milan team. That or like in the summer of last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you had Lukaku and you had Lautaro Martinez, and we were looking for a striker. I'm not saying we should have got Lautaro Martinez, but I'm just saying if you look at the two player profiles, which player would suit Chelsea more, Martinez or Lukaku? Obviously Martinez,
Mm-hmm.
because you can tell the guy has that technical ability. He can play in it. Like Chelsea is a possession-based team. We need players who know how to who know their way around the ball. We need players who can link up play, who can control the ball for themselves and
Mm-hmm.
make things happen,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even forget about all the other targets. Even if you narrow it down to Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that we weren't able to see which player was a better fit is just a big indictment on the way we've been recruiting. So so as for where Lukaku should go, um, he's still a good player.
There's three
Lukaku is an
options,
excellent
Sam.
player.
There's three options. Ganaska already told Inter Milan 2 years obligation and 70 million. Second
Right.
one, second one, swap deal with Lautaro Martinez. Inter hasn't responded yet. And the third one is Bayern Munich wants to go for Lukaku. 3 years deal, but
Okay.
Ganaska is telling them, if you're gonna go for Lukaku, we need 70. If you don't pay 70, Lukaku is going nowhere. That is where we're stuck now.
Here's the thing. So 70 million is reasonable for a player like Lukaku. As much as it's hard to believe, it's a reasonable fee because Lukaku is still a good striker. Wait a second. Lukaku is still a good striker. So um, I think if Marina could find a way to structure a deal that works for both clubs in terms of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
installments, because like as football fans, I think we always think that the money just comes straight out of the pocket, right? But there's bonus, there's incentives, there's also installments. So
Yeah.
we could even do a similar deal with Milan. And I think if he went back, if Lukaku played in the Bundesliga, Lukaku would score goals.
It was come out and 30 goals.
He'd
I
score goals.
line. That Bundesliga that Bundesliga tax is real, man. It's real.
Yeah, no, no. And it's not only Bundesliga tax. It's like the Bundesliga would suit Lukaku because Lukaku loves to, you know, get in behind his man,
Mm-hmm.
transitional play, like run, like instead of like playing to with his back to goal, he likes
Mm-hmm.
to be more direct,
Mm-hmm.
and that just doesn't exist in the Premier League. The
Yeah.
defenders engage a lot quicker, they're a lot faster, they're a lot stronger. So
Mm-hmm.
in the Bundesliga, I think Lukaku would score, and Bayern Munich are a smart club. They have a decent recruitment staff, and they're not just going for Lukaku because he's the obvious name on the market.
Yeah.
So I think Bayern Munich would be a good move for him. The other one is Inter Milan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that one's a bit tricky because Inter is a stingy club. Like they're strapped for cash. They're not. Listen, I'm not even sure if these guys are ready to pay a $12 million like loan fee. So um, in terms of Inter Milan, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like maybe he goes there. Honestly, like based off what happened last year, I don't know how the fans will react.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I
obviously
think the
since
fans they love me, but the problem is Inter doesn't want to listen to what Ganaskia is saying. because Gonaskia is proposing
No
a,
money, Abdullah.
a
They don't have
loan.
money.
They don't have money. They're broke
They don't. Yeah.
because
So
they have to sell their blessed player for me to make money to balance the book. They have to sell players.
because I also heard that Bastoni is one of the players that they're trying to sell to raise money.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
and that
so
could work
Inter
in our
Milan,
favor if they sell Bastoni, maybe swap deal with Lukaku.
exactly.
That could work,
We
but we
should
need the
talk about
striker.
that. We should talk about that after
Yeah.
this. But
Hmm.
so that just goes to show how Inter Milan, like, if we're giving Lukaku to Inter Milan, it's because we just don't want to pay his wages, right? Like that's the only thing. Because
But Sam,
if
this
we're
is a
give
problem now. This is a problem now. See, I understand 70 million can be paid, but the issue with it is how do we end up ourselves in this situation of things? That's my problem because Lukaku recently, because according to Steve told me he's been having issue with Tuchel for a very long time. Even the players can see themselves. Player like Mason, Kai Havertz can notify them in the dressing room that he's been fighting with Tuchel one on one. And in that Chelsea team, the only player that is very close to Lukaku is Hakim Ziyech. After that, no one is closer to him.
Ancho, Hudson-Odoi, they have a good
See,
relationship.
apart from those players, no one is closer to
Yeah,
him. Now he's coming to a club where the players don't even like him. There's no even
If-
chemistry. There's so many stuff happening that's not even working in his favor, and you expect him to stay. It's gonna be a difficult situation where Lukaku is be like, I'm coming to a club where even the players doesn't even like me. The fans are not up to the level I want. They're not even kind of showing me so much love because Lukaku. See, this is Lukaku. When he goes to somewhere, he needs to feel love.
exactly,
He needs to
100%.
feel.
I
If
said
he
this
can
last
feel
time.
love, you see the best of Lukaku.
Yeah, I
But if he
agree.
doesn't feel
Look,
love, my lord in heaven, Lukaku. Oh my god.
this is why, listen, this is why like, whenever you're scouting, you don't only look at stats. You
Mm-hmm.
also got to look at mentality. You got to look at, like, at the way the player fits into social structures in the team, the way the player
Yeah.
communicates, the way the player reacts to adversity. Lukaku is not a player who reacts to adversity well. Because, like, you can tell, like, if Lukaku, like, for example, those two goals he scored near the end of the season,
Mm-hmm.
you could tell when he scored those two goals, that next match he was playing, with a lot more confidence in himself,
Mm-hmm.
with a lot more belief. That's the kind of player he seems like. He's not the kind of player who, grabs destiny by his own hands and takes control. So that's
Mm-hmm.
another factor. So, because, like, even if we cast our minds back to when he, like, the very first few games,
Yeah.
Lukaku looked good. He looked good, and in those games, part of me is also annoyed because Lukaku was looking really good. He was linking up play really well. That's crazy. Like, he was, being a good target man even against Spurs, those teams. Lukaku played extremely well in my opinion. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, he's like, Lukaku needs to be emotionally managed. That's the kind of a player he is. And Tuchel, I don't know. I don't think Tuchel's a good man manager in my opinion. Just based off what I've seen from Lukaku,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too sure Tuchel is good with managing personalities because he's a tactical genius, right? We all know this. Tuchel tactically, he can make a lot out of nothing. But as a man manager, I guess that's where he falls short. So,
Mm-hmm.
for, honestly, as much as I want Lukaku to succeed at Chelsea, obviously
Mm-hmm.
because of the narratives, I don't think he will. Because if Lukaku is to succeed at Chelsea, there's going to be, like, we're gonna have to change the system, and there's gonna have to be a whole tactical adjustment from Tuchel's side. I'm not sure he's willing to make, so he's not staying. I think the best option is
Mm-hmm.
if Bayern Munich come through and we give them a good deal, or
But
if
Sam, Bayern Munich will not pay 70. That's my point. The Bayern I know, I've known.
right,
Bayern doesn't less. The only amount Bayern can pay is 50 million, and that's it.
yeah.
Bayern will not go less than 50. They would not, and that will
I
not work
mean,
with Ganaskia.
Abdullah, hear me out. Obviously, Bayern have players that they want to sell.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is Nabry, right? He's not
Mm-hmm.
really a player that impresses me per se. Like, he's not
Mm-hmm.
like a player that catches my eye, but he seems like a clinical finisher. He operates on that left hand side. Maybe we can do something about that, because Mane is going to Bayern.
Mm-hmm.
Gnabry is out of favor. He's a decent player. I mean, I'd like to think if you put him in front of the goal, he would finish. He would finish, but I'm not. I'm not necessarily saying it's a good move because I haven't done my research. And
Yeah.
the problem is, us fans, we just look at players' stats and we're like, they're good enough, right? I don't think so. But I think maybe, yeah, because the whole Bayern interest is it's not fugazi. It's actually like it's concrete. I think it's real.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason for that, right? So if Lewandowski leaves and we could maybe do a swap deal for Nabry or another player that they don't want that we
Mm-hmm.
might find a use for, and just add in like installments, just like maybe even like if you gave us Nabry, right? We could do 35 mil, and then you take him. So we lose that crazy wages on, which is 350, 375, and
Mm-hmm.
we might get a player who we desperately need, like an inside forward. So
Mm-hmm.
I think there's light at the end of the tunnel as long as both parties stay patient. But yeah,
But Sam, this is it now. How do we come into an agreement between Lukaku and whether he wants to go? Because right now, my
right.
problem with it is right now is the way Lukaku has been doing right now. I think it wants respect, firstly from the Chelsea players and also from the manager, and secondly, him yes, he wants respect and also he wants to be assured that I'm gonna be playing week in and week out. What is the assurance that even you're gonna be playing week in and week out, those players behind you are gonna give you this pass, he doesn't trust you. So there's no
They
assurance you're
don't.
gonna be playing week in and week out because when you have players who are in the team, you are not assured of that I'm gonna get this pass from them. What is the assurance that you're gonna be playing week in and week out? And I've been saying it from day one. I don't think Thomas Tuchel trusts Lukaku that much. I don't think so because if it trusts Lukaku, there is a way Tuchel will have to fix it for Lukaku for it to work for Lukaku. There's always every manager will find a way to implement a system to work for the players,
But
whatever which
Tuchel
player
isn't
they
willing
have.
to do that.
I don't think
Like
Tuchel is
Tuchel,
willing to do that.
he's not. He's not because like countless times has been asked, do you feel like you need to make tactical adjustments for the attackers to succeed? And he's adamant that his tactics are the right way to go for Chelsea. So Tuchel, like I'll reiterate this, we saw this at PSG with players like Neymar, Mbappe, Verratti, those big personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Tuchel had issues Tuchel had issues with the team not because of his tactical incompetence, but just because of his lack of man management. That's the only thing. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like he struggles with that part, like managing a human being, like how you doing off the field sort of thing. Tuchel is more
Mm-hmm.
come to the pitch and we cook. So he's not like a manager. Like if you could name like really good man managers, like a Mourinho, those kind of guys, he's not like that. So no,
Mm-hmm.
no, Lukaku is the type of player who needs a good management, like man manager. He just needs one because he's
Mm-hmm.
not too confident in himself, right? He doesn't have that kind of mentality. So so back to my point, no, there's not going to be
Mm-hmm.
any tactical changes. I feel like with Lukaku, it's going to be this. The only way he works at Chelsea is if, he's like, okay, this is the situation. This is the tactics I'm going to play in. These are my teammates. I've got to
Mm-hmm.
make the best of things. I'm not sure Lukaku is able to do that. I'm not sure this guy is able to see past his woes and whatever he can't do to
Mm-hmm.
succeed in the same system. I think Lukaku just needs a change in scenery. You know, that's what he
I,
needs.
I
So
believe so because I think he needs to go to a club where he's being liked and is happy to play because if he's going
yeah,
to a club where he's not even liked and he doesn't feel happy about it, it's gonna be a problem because this is the scenario he's facing in Chelsea. He's coming to a club where no trust, it demand respect, he want respect. But is he happy? I don't think Romelu Lukaku is happy. So now, what he's doing is because I'm not happy right now, so I need to go to a club where I'm gonna feel love and feel happy. So whenever I goes to people who appreciate me more. So
right.
right now it's tough. It's tough right now. It's very very tough right now because for me, he is a goal scorer, and when you're a goal scorer, you have to perform in the team. And the problem is you are bringing Lukaku into a team where the players themselves doesn't trust Lukaku more in a way that this is our striker, he's a big name player, we trust him.
He just doesn't fit. He
Regardless of how many
doesn't.
chances he's missing, we're gonna be giving him just chances. I don't think so.
No.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. Honestly, I feel like with Lukaku, like just
Mhm.
he's injured right now, right? Or is he good? Because
I don't think the injury is that much. Lukaku will be fine. They'll find a way to fix it. He will be fine.
so he should be fine by the time Belgium play, whenever
Mm-hmm.
they do play. Just watch Lukaku score because
How
that's the
about
thing with Lukaku.
Inter or
Just
Lukaku? Okay, people are asking me question. For me, I'll probably say Bayern because Bayern's gonna lose Lewandowski. Lewandowski is not playing this season for Bayern. Forget about it. It's not playing. It's
yeah,
gone. So Sadio Mane is there now. This is where Bayern have to hand their right. Would they go for Mane and Lukaku at the same time and lose Gnabry and Lewandowski? It depends if if Bayern approach us and tell Chelsea, okay, we want Lukaku, but Lukaku you have to reduce your wages. Your wages, okay, Lukaku say, okay, I will reduce my wages. Then then Bayern have to face Chelsea and say, Chelsea, how much do you want to collect for Lukaku? This is the amount we want to collect. Let's come to agreement because they have to come to agreement. If you're gonna lose Lewandowski and Mane, you have to have a player where in a season can score you 30, 35 goals, and which is Lukaku. With the better players
yeah.
around him, he will score those goals. On his Bundesliga task is real. They don't defend in that league. You go there and
But
go smack it and smash it and
he,
smash it.
here's my question. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen anything about other Bayern targets like to replace Lewandowski. All I've seen is Lukaku. So I honestly think that they're going for Lukaku, and
Mm-hmm.
if it makes sense, because 70 million might not make sense, but like Chelsea just need to be ready to just take an L on this one and just move on in the new era. So yeah,
See, I will get you to take an L because the amount of money gonna scarce demanding. I don't think team is going to pay that amount of money.
no.
I don't think so, man.
70 mil
Chimere,
is not crazy for
leave me
Lukaku,
alone,
man.
Chimere.
He's 29. I mean,
Yeah, it's 29. Mm-hmm.
he's not washed, and nowadays players who are 29, they're not like they're still good for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Lukaku seems like a fit guy, right? So 70 million, like if you could structure that deal in a way, or if you could add a player in, it wouldn't. It looks bad, but it wouldn't be that bad. Like you could make it like 60 million. You could even make it 40 million. Add in like another player there, like Nabry, because they
Mm-hmm.
and Nabry is like on the market for I think 40 million now.
40
So
million, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you could do that. There's always options. There's a reason why Bayern wants him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a rhyme in the scheme to that.
I
So
also think if he goes to Bayern, it can really elevate them in the UCL because they have a very good players around him that will make him better. In Bundesliga, for me, Bayern should just forget about it because they win it every year. So that for me, that's not a league. Where Bayern will be judged is gonna be in the UCL, and we have a player like Mane and Lukaku together, so that could work because for me now, you have a link up which is working very well in Sadio Mane, who can easily create and also score goals. There's Leroy Sané there. There's Kimmich who can pass. You get what I'm saying? So there are players who surround Lukaku with better quality and creativity around him that will make him a better player. You get what I'm saying? So when you surround Lukaku with a better players around him and a better quality, Lukaku will score goals. He will score goals when surrounded with a better player and better quality. But the
he's
issue with it
proven, yeah.
is, it is Bayern. Bundesliga task is real. So if he goes to Bayern, I will not be surprised if Lukaku score 40 goals in a season. I will not be surprised because it's Bayern and it's Bundesliga. It is
Like in
Bundesliga.
so like my thing is I don't think they're trying to buy Lukaku to do well in the CL because Lukaku I don't want to mention in the CL for Lukaku. I think for Lukaku it's gonna be more like who's gonna replace the league goals that Leo scored in
Yeah.
the Bundesliga, and
Mm-hmm.
then Mane is gonna be that dude that they're gonna look to, in the big games,
Yeah.
to show up. So yeah, man, that's all I gotta say for this guy. It,
For me,
it,
that's
it's
what
it's
I,
all it's
same
all
thing
it's
with me.
it's
That's what
him,
I'm
man.
gonna see
It's
in
him.
that aspect too, because what people need to understand is because people are kind of saying, just have to watch on Lukaku. We do this on Lukaku. But like, oh, okay, we got you now. He wants to leave. Good. Where does he go? Wait. SSB said Chelsea. Look, Abdullah Lukaku has better players at Chelsea, though. SSB, can you name me better players here than Chelsea? Because in Inter Milan, he had Ericsson, Brozovic, Barella, Lautaro Martinez, Ashraf Hakimi
But
in Inter Milan. So he had
Abdullah, it's not really
qualities,
about the players.
creativities around him.
It's not really about the players. It's not even about creativity. Because Chelsea do create chances. Like we're not, we
Mm-hmm.
create chances, right? The thing is,
Mm-hmm.
it's the system just does not suit this guy. It does
No,
not
no,
suit.
no, no.
Like
See, the
you
problem
can
is
tell he's
Inter Milan
static.
play back three under Conte, and all ball goes to Lukaku. We don't play like that. We don't.
No, no, no.
We do not.
Like the balls we play, it's slow, it's build up,
Mm-hmm.
sideways passing, it's possession based. Conte's system is direct counter attacking. You know, it's completely different. It's just
Mm-hmm.
no. So
I
it has
agree.
nothing
I
to do with the
agree.
quality of players.
I
He just
agree.
needs to go to
Mm-hmm.
the right system. Like Bayern Munich is would be excellent for this guy because Lukaku thrives on like transitional plays, like
Yeah.
counter-attacking transitional leagues. Would thrive in that, but not in the Premier League where seven, eight of the teams you're playing a season, or 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 most of them. Sorry, I'm messing up. Most of them you're playing a
Mm-hmm.
season are digging deep and and they're parking the bus. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a shame because I was hyped up last year. We all were. We expected a lot
Yeah,
from this
because
guy, but
for me, I wanted him because I believe okay, we have Lukaku who can score all those goals. So it makes me happy that at least we have a player who can score all those goals. That makes me happy. He can score all those
yeah.
goals. Yeah, yeah. So it makes me happy that yes,
We've
but
taken L's
we
though, man.
yeah,
We've taken
we will
L's,
take the
man. That
hell
summer
for me.
window, Chouameni, 40 million. We agreed terms, agreed everything, and last minute we're like, nah, give me Saul. I'll never forget
Our
that.
recruitment has been piece poor. I know that already. I don't even need to be told. I know that. I don't need to be told. I know that.
Okay.
So I don't need to be told. I know that our recruitment has been poor and has been shambolic in terms of that. So I don't even need to be told about that. I can understand that.
I
So
mean,
the,
that summer is shambolic.
I don't need to be told about it. It's just for me. It's just for me that this season we just have to work well as a team together in terms of okay. Let's just make it right. What we have done wrong in terms of that, let's make it right and let's make it right. That's it. Let's just make it right. So let's make it right. So let's go to so firstly your take on your congratulating message to Tony Rudiger going to Real Madrid.
I mean, Rudiger, what can I say? I'm gonna miss this guy, man. Like I was watching some comps of Rudiger, his
Mm-hmm.
personality, how he carries himself on the pitch. You know, whenever you play on a team, you need those players who just exude confidence. Like Rudiger has no fear. No matter
Mm-hmm.
what, even before that final, if you saw Rudiger in that tunnel, like this guy just has no fear. He's a warrior, right? And you need that
Mm-hmm.
because as human beings, not all of us are made of that kind of steel. We need to see that and feed off of that. So here's the thing with Rudiger, like we can replace him. I mean, it's possible, but the thing with him is it's the character and the leadership that we're gonna miss. And just that swagger on the pitch, the crazy like Rudiger is a crazy person. Everyone loves Rudiger.
Mm-hmm.
And like he just incites fear and against his opponents. He's been quality, and I guess that's also credit to Tuchel for doing that with Rudiger. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of bashed him on the man management with Lukaku, but with guys like
Mm-hmm.
Rudiger, Tuchel, recognized his potential, recognized his weaknesses and his strengths,
Mm-hmm.
and played to his strengths, and he is what he is now. So in Real Madrid, I wish him the best. I have no hard feelings. It wasn't his fault that he didn't resign.
Yeah.
He wasn't hungry for money or anything. That wasn't really the case. He deserves the money he wanted, in my opinion. He did. When you have Lukaku making 375K a year,
Mm-hmm.
when you have Werner making 275K a year, I think Rudiger deserves 230. He deserves 275. He deserves 300.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as a club, just poor management, and it's been shocking, honestly, because that last summer that we had, where we let go of players without really, having foresight, really having a plan, we allowed that Kounde deal to fall through. All
Mm-hmm.
these things are sort of just added up. So for Rudiger, I don't blame him. I mean, some people might, but it's going to be a
Mm-hmm.
big miss as a club. We're going to miss that leader. Like I'm not sure if I'm as confident in Chelsea as a team now than I used to be just because Rudiger was there. So yeah, man. Hopefully we recover. Hopefully we can find that leader in someone else. But
So that's what people are saying. Who do we replace Rudiger with?
you can't listen. You can replace him qualitatively. You can replace him with a defender that
Mm-hmm.
is near his caliber or has the potential to be like him or even better.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are saying Bastoni. I mean Koulibaly. Like if you can argue if Koulibaly's coached in the right system, he might be one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
Like the only reason why he's gone dormant is just because of the way he is, right? Where he plays. But
Mm-hmm.
like just like Rudiger, the thing with defenders, if you can play to their strengths and minimize their weaknesses, you can
Mm-hmm.
replace them qualitatively, and that's not the problem for me. I'm not worried about the quality. I'm worried about just the character. You can't replace that. Rudiger is a big part of the chemistry in the team. He's a big part of the. He's like the adhesive sort of thing that keeps everyone together, and he motivates everyone. So,
Yeah.
and the thing with Chelsea is a big part of a big part of the a big problem in what's going on right now is a lot of our senior players
Mm-hmm.
are leaving.
Yeah.
A lot of the big guys, the big voices in the dressing room, and that just means a rebuild. So, like I
Yeah.
said, in terms of like performances in cup finals, or in cups, those kind of things that require like mental steel and just concentration and experience, we might lack that because we're missing guys like Lukaku. So we might even sell guys like Jorginho this summer. Um, all these senior
Mhm.
players that are relied upon to motivate the squad are going to probably be leaving. So we'll see, man.
Yeah.
But we
Is
can't
it?
really replace them.
Yeah, it's a total rebuild. It's gonna be a long summer. It's gonna be a total rebuild because we not see. We don't need to spend ridiculous money. We just have to spend money on the right players. For me,
Right
once you
players.
spend money on the right players, I think we'll be fine. Not spending money on ridiculous player. Just spend money on the right player that you know. Okay, this is the right player for us. We're gonna spend money on him, and boom, hopefully it works out well for us. So we should forget this era of spending ridiculous money on players, which we know it's not gonna work out well for us. So we
Not
have to just
anymore.
stop that aspect.
I agree.
So we just have to stop that. We just have to move on to the new era. This is not Roman anymore.
And
So
let me just add something. Here's the thing with
mhm,
Roman, right? As much as I appreciate him and what he's done for the club, and Roman is arguably one of the most influential characters in football history. But
mhm,
I feel like in his latter years, just
mhm,
I wouldn't blame him, but I feel like his treatment of the club as like a royalty, like a toy, it's
mhm,
definitely been to our detriment because our strategies are not in any way underpinned by logical consistency. They're not
mhm,
underpinned by strategy and by close consideration. I think it's just been who can we get, who's the biggest name we can get, and let's go for
mhm.
them. So under Todd B, honestly, I feel like we could be better. Why not? Right? Why
Yeah.
not?
Mhm,
We just need to spend smart. We've always spent money at this club. Money has never been the problem,
mhm,
and we're a club that can generate money ourselves, right?
mhm,
And if you look at that deal or if you look at this consortium that came in, they also
mhm,
have obligations. I think it's one of the first. I think it's the first takeover of its kind. Like having those
mhm.
clauses, you have to spend this amount of money. You have to do this, all these things to protect the club. I
Yeah.
don't think that's existed before. So as far as spending money goes, I think that's not a problem. So if we're thinking about replacing guys like Rudiger, we shouldn't be thinking about who's the most expensive option, but who's the player who who can replace that void in the team? Who's a player
Yeah.
who's a leader? That kind of thing. So
I agree. So let's talk about somebody. Hold on. I'm not sure how true this rumor is, but let's just talk about it because I think I
let's
asked
see.
Steve already. Said I think he said there's a possibility, but he's still not sure yet. But he still have to ask to him just to make sure that okay, this is for real or for real. He said he hasn't isn't sure yet, but let's talk about it. Timo Werner to Juventus. Sam. Demolena to Juventus because Juventus is saying if they can't because they want Alvaro Morata may probably leave. So
To Arsenal,
I'm
yeah.
hearing either Barcelona or some, he wants to go though. So I don't know which team is gonna go. It's gonna be a long summer. So Juventus wants to go for Owan Chuku Timo Werner. So give me your take on Timo Werner. Going to
Honestly, look, Abdullah, here's the thing with Timo Werner. If there's one player that I feel like we're gonna struggle to sell, is it's gonna be Timo Werner because he's a bad footballer, and that qualitatively he's just trash. But like, if you put that to the side, his contract is ridiculous. He's on 275K.
yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't think Timo Werner is unsettled. I think he's quite happy in this Chelsea team. Believe it or not,
Mm-hmm.
he looks happy.
Mm-hmm.
He's never, expressed his disgruntlement. So I'm not sure if he's that willing to take a pay cut. I don't think so. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're talking now about Juventus,
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting. Obviously, they're losing Dybala on a free.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That striker spot, they still have Vlahovic, so
Yeah,
I
Valverde
don't
can
know
play
where he
together with
fits.
Timo
Where,
Werner. You know why I said Timo Werner will work in Juventus? Because it's not as physical as the Premier League. That's why I
yeah,
said if Timo Werner goes to either Bundesliga, Spanish, what's called the Spanish league or the
La
Syria,
Liga, yeah.
he will score goals. Now because it's not as physical
I
as
mean,
the
it's true
EPL.
because like in the Serie A,
Mm-hmm.
maybe if you maybe not mention La Liga because of technique, but in the Serie A, like that intensity of play is not necessarily at the level of the Premier League. So
Mm-hmm.
someone
Yeah.
like Timo Werner, who's really fast, who relies on his athleticism,
Mm-hmm.
maybe he capitalizes in that system. And I'm not
And the
sure what
way the
Allegri
way Allegri plays is a
he plays with
counter-attacking
two
football.
strikers. Does he play with two
See,
strikers?
the way Allegri play is a counter-attacking football that could work
Right.
with Timo Werner.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Timo Werner, like even with Chelsea, he's always been the
Mm-hmm.
best for us when we play against teams who have the ball more, and when
Mm-hmm.
we're the ones that have to counterattack. He's always done that well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Honestly, I haven't really seen this news. We'll see how it works out. Maybe a
Yeah, I saw the
both.
news,
I
but
don't
I
know.
asked Steven. Steven said there is a little bit of possibility in there. It depends on if we bring in Ismail Dembele, then one of those wingers
Yeah,
have to go. I think he said it might probably be Timo Werner or Akim Ziyech to United. So he said in between one of those two, we'll have to leave for Usman Dembele to come in. So
but I
it
mean,
depends though.
here's my
But Timo
thing.
Werner going to Juventus for me could work because of the way he plays football and the way Allegri set up. Allegri set up with a counter defensive team. Timo Werner
Yeah.
can run. We know that. I call him IAAF, sprint runner. That's what I call him because he can
See,
run.
here's the thing
For me, it
with
doesn't need to do the scoring. Vlahovic can score. What you have to just
100%,
do is run, like headless chicken and pass.
and just press. That's all he has to do.
That's it.
But
That's what you have to do.
that's all he has to do, and it
But the
might work
problem
out.
is in Germany, under Hansi Flick, there's a different Timo Werner. There is a different Timo Werner. Because I've watched Germany play under Flick. Timo Werner in Germany under Flick looked different than Timo Werner in Chelsea. I don't know what is going on. Same thing
It
with
may,
that American endorsement. I'm gonna talk about him because it has been freaking annoying. My head is hot. It's because it's been freaking annoying me. In America, that idiot is a world-class player when they put on the American jersey. But when he plays for Chelsea, I feel like stoning him. That's how hungry I am on that American endorsement. Ah,
here
I will talk
here
about him. I will because
we
Timo Werner
should we
under
should.
Hansi Flick is different than Timo Werner in Chelsea with Thomas Tuchel. So I don't know what is going on because we need to have a
So
discussion about what is going on with it. Because
so
when I watch Timo Werner
Abdullah,
play under Flick, because Flick said he trusts Timo Werner more, even if he misses chances, they know he's gonna come in to score goals. He will score those goals because there's more creativity around it. They trust him more to give him those balls. He will score those goals. They're not worried too much because his output always showed there. So I'm like, okay, this can work in Chelsea, but the problem is I've seen Timo Werner make so many runs in Chelsea team this season. Nobody pick him up. Timo Werner
it's
make
not.
runs, and either we pick him up, we pass back to Marcos Mugabe or Aspilicueta. Now, who is to blame on that? I don't know because I've seen countless times when Timo Werner make runs, everybody just look backward. They don't even want to pass forward anymore.
But
For
here's the
me,
thing, Abdullah.
that is on the
Here's the thing,
manager.
Abdullah.
For me, it's on the Thomas Tuchel to install this player and tell them If
But is
our
it
if our players are making runs, can you guys just make sure you pass forward, don't pass backward anymore?
y-
Because that's
okay?
on the
I
manager
agree,
to make that work. It's on Thomas
but it's
Tuchel to
not. It's
make it
not
work.
really the manager though. It's also like again, I'll revert back to this. It's also it has to do with the way Chelsea recruit. We don't look at players' attributes and assess if it's going to work in the league or not. So with Timo Werner, he might not be a bad player because he plays well for Germany. He just won't work
Mhm.
out at Chelsea. Whatever Tuchel does, the Premier League is not suited for this player. And that's also why I was trying to get this across. That's also why I'm surprised that Nagelsmann is not looking at Timo Werner over
He's
Lukaku.
looking at
Like
him. He's looking
I'm
at him.
shocked.
I heard he's looking at, but I think Bayern boss said is it's not that it's not that number one. It's like a fourth or fifth choice.
Fourth or fifth
It's not that
choice?
yeah fourth or fifth choice. It's not even that number one choice.
That makes no sense. I If you put Werner, listen, Werner in the Bundesliga, bro, this guy is scoring 30 goals a season.
And he's missing 12 chances. If everyone's got 30 goals, he will miss
It's
12
okay.
chances.
He's scoring 30. He scored that much in RB Leipzig with the players he has. Imagine if this guy plays with his countrymen in the same team in Bayern Munich with better players, the same league, Bundesliga tax. Listen, I'm willing to say he's gonna score 50 goals.
Relax, easy.
What?
It's not, see,
50?
he will miss chances. That relax, easy, easy, stop.
Yeah. I don't know if he
Abdul,
will though.
how you doing? Abdul, are you there?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Good evening.
Speak louder. This is a new era. This is not Roman anymore. Let's hear you.
Can you hear me well now?
We can hear you both. Turn up the volume.
Better?
Yes, better.
Better now?
Firstly, Antonio Rudiger. It's official. He's going to Real Madrid. Communication official, whatever they call it in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, so relax easy on me. It's official. It's going to La Liga, and he sent his best wishes to all Chelsea fans. And Abdul, we've been talking about this man for the last past week, past month. Bukaku. His name is not Lukaku anymore. His name is Bukaku. We need to have a serious conversation because what I'm hearing about this man is his sickening is annoying me right now. I'm gonna talk about this man here, Lemolena to Juventus. So you take
On Werner, you mean?
no start Rudiger first.
Oh, I mean, there isn't much to say about Rudiger. People have said everything about Rudiger, and we've also read everything about Rudiger. So, I mean, there's nothing about Rudiger than just to
Mm-hmm.
wish the guy, nothing but the best, really.
Mm-hmm.
He's going from a Chelsea to a Real Madrid,
Yeah,
and before then, he came from Roma.
yeah.
So,
No,
he's
from
probably
Stuttgart to Roman.
from Stuttgart to Roma, and then we
Mm-hmm.
got him from Roma.
Yeah,
So his progression has been impressive, and he's as a footballer he's done well. But Madrid is Madrid, so
yeah.
there's no guarantee. But I think if he has the same mentality, um, he should be able to succeed in Madrid. And I'm not really mad at Rudiger because I think Chelsea made their own error while dealing with him. Although I have a feeling I've started sensing recently that I think he actually made up his mind right from the start of the season
No, I
that
think
he's
said the
going
mind
to,
was made up after the UCL final. That was when he decided.
yeah, I think at that point he decided he was going to play one more season for Chelsea or play his last season for Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
So, all the best. The most important thing is Rudiger gave his best while he was here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, hopefully, he's able to enjoy his time at Real Madrid.
Best of luck. Now it makes me see. Abdul makes me want to enjoy, but enjoy Spanish league more now. McDonald's ad is there now. Antonio Rudiger is going there, so we'll see. We'll see. Your take on Bukaku is three option now.
uh-huh.
Marina is telling Inter Milan 2 year loan with obligation to buy for 70. Inter hasn't responded. The second option is a swap deal with Lautaro Martinez. Inter hasn't given a response. And the third option is Bayern wants to buy Lukaku. And she's standing on her gun and telling them 70 million on Lukaku or no deal. I've been telling and I've been saying it. I've never seen a deal in my entire life watching football where Bayern will pay 70. That is not a small money. 70 for a player. Ha, nah, 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 nah. I don't see that happening. 70 million for Lukaku on an high wages. I don't see that happening. I'm sorry. I do not. I don't. your
So
take on your
the,
take on that.
the thing with Lukaku is
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just hearing this update for the first time.
Yeah.
So I've not really heard some of the things you've said. I've not. I'm just hearing it for the first time really. So, but the thing with the loan system is, I thought the loan system was if there's an expectation
Yeah.
that the player will return to Chelsea. I thought that was the whole purpose of
Yeah.
having
But
the loan system.
Chelsea said Marina said no. That because Lukaku wants to go like permanently, doesn't want to return. And they also was like, okay. So in time Marina said they want like um a dry loan which Lukaku like Inter Milan will pay half of the wages, Chelsea will pay half of the wages. Marina said no. If you're gonna go for Lukaku, it has to be 2-year loan with a 70 million obligation, not even option.
Yeah, yeah.
70 obligation. Inter said no, they don't have even the money. And Chelsea and Marina was like, okay, another option which make it easier for you is give us Lautaro Martinez, you get Lukaku and a permanent deal.
No, no, no.
Game over.
I understand. I understand all that. But what I'm saying is, if we have expectation that in
Mm-hmm.
the future there should be there's going to be a reconciliation between the club
Mm-hmm.
and the player again, football wise, that's when we think about loaning a player. But from the way
But,
things
but
are
but
going,
according to what Steve told me, he said Lukaku doesn't want to return anymore. He has a bust up with
hold
the
on.
manager.
Let me complete my
Okay.
trail of thought. So my um so but what we can tell from the situation between Lukaku and club
Mm-hmm.
that we are not going to have a remit in the future.
Mm-hmm.
There's no expectation that Lukaku will come back, and we know Lukaku don't want to come back. So if I was Chelsea, what's the point holding on to Lukaku in any means, any necessary way? There should be no string tied to Lukaku. That's what I'm trying to say. We should just cut our losses, allow him to go completely, close that chapter,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how much we're going to lose, close that chapter and bring somebody else in or do something about what we think our needs are. But holding on to Lukaku in one way or the other, just because of financial reasons,
Mm-hmm.
is what I don't want. Because number one, we have too many lone players for a start.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, we don't want to get down this route again of, oh, this player has left Chelsea. He's going to be on 1 year loan, 2 year loan. You know, what's
Yeah.
the gain for? What's the gain apart from the financial impact on
Mm-hmm.
Lukaku being on loan? What's the gain? Let's find a deal. If Bayern wants him anyhow, even if they can afford the valuation, we might be able to work it out where we can take one or two players.
Yeah. People. What I'm hearing is maybe they want to maybe just are kind of looking to Serge Gnabry. Bayern said they value him for 40 million. So that could work in a swap deal with Lukaku. I don't know if Bayern is gonna be okay.
In my own opinion, I don't think Gnabry is good enough for the Premier League. To be honest with you, I mean, if they can give us Sane, then they're talking. Or maybe Lewandowski, then they're talking, or maybe
See,
Theo.
Abdul, lower chapter with Bayern is closed. That is the closed chapter. It's not playing for that club anymore. It's done. Lower chapter is closed.
But he still has 1 year left on his contract.
That is what Oliver Kahn and co said. Bayern is saying, I don't care. I want to leave. Now, this is where the problem is. Bayern is playing a dangerous game. Lewa is also playing a dangerous game with Bayern. Both of them are playing a dangerous game because you're having a player who is not happy in the club that doesn't want to even play anymore. Now, Lewa is demanding for Bayern, Bayern and telling them, you have to sell me because I'm not gonna. That club is over for all. Our chapter is closed. That is where this person that has to come in. That how do we make it feasible in this transfer window to let Lewandowski go? That's what they're looking into Lukaku. And what they are looking to Lukaku is the sporting director doesn't want to face Ganatskia because she's starting on a right and telling them, yes, we will let Lukaku go. That's not a problem. But you have to meet our target. Is 70. Anything above 70? No. 70 million or no Lukaku. That is where the complication is. Lukaku is ready to reduce his wages. You see that 70 million price tag? That is what they want to pay.
Look, Bayern is an establishment and they can afford any player they want. The only thing is they are trying to maintain, they're trying to abide by their policy and their structure.
Yeah.
Bayern has enough money to do whatever deal they want to. So it doesn't, if they really want Lukaku, it doesn't have to be only cash for the 70 million. They
Mm-hmm.
can put a few players into the deal and then we'll be able to move forward. But ultimately, what I'm saying is I want Lukaku gone and gone totally, gone completely, not gone with some kind of 1 year loan, 1 year loan, 2 year loan. Because if the loan is not successful, then the onus is on Chelsea to
Yeah.
renegotiate another loan for him.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think this is what we want to do in the new era. So find a way of releasing Lukaku off the club. I don't think there's any kind of football reconciliation that might happen between Chelsea and Lukaku in the future. He has, I don't know, put flames into that relationship. So he needs to go, and I'm hoping they're able to settle for a deal, and
Mm-hmm.
he's able to leave. So that's my take on Lukaku. I don't think it's anything too complex.
Abdul, I agree with what you said. I'm also in agreement with that. But the problem is now the issue has escalated more because now Lukaku is having an issue with both the board and the players. I'm like, no, 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 I don't want to play. I just want to leave. Okay, fair enough. But now it's forcing Chelsea to come into agreement in which Chelsea gonna scare doesn't want to do. Lukaku is forcing Chelsea into making an agreement in which she doesn't want to compromise with because all Inter Milan are demanding for is okay, 2 years with that 70 million can be spread within that 2 years. We'll be able to find a way to spread that 2 years with that 2 years alone with 70 million. But Ganaskeshis is not convinced yet with Inter because if she agree with Inter deal and after 2 years Inter doesn't want to pay the money, then now Lukaku has to go back to Chelsea and Lukaku doesn't want to do that anymore. And for Bayern now, is Chelsea are looking into getting Lewandowski on a free in terms of okay, we give Bayern Lukaku, we get Lewa. But how feasible is that? Because Lewa has 1 year on his deal, and Bayern said they were not going to sell Lewa less than 40 or 50 million. So this is where everything become complicated now because Lewa doesn't want to stay, he's not happy, he wants to go. Lukaku doesn't want to stay, he's not happy, he wants to go. So we have two players in different clubs who are kind of doesn't want to play for their club anymore. I want to leave. So it's complicated right now because yes, it will take our loss on Lukaku. Fair enough. I'm ready to do that. But it has to be the right amount of money for me. It has to. Because see, Abdul, no matter how much you say it has to be the right amount of money for us to release Romelu Lukaku. And we know gonna scare her very well. When it comes about money, she doesn't joke. She get everything right in terms of that. She's very in negotiating. That is her job. Whether you like it or not,
I
you
don't.
have
I,
to
I
succumb
don't
to
think.
what she wants. That's
I,
gonna
I
scare
don't
for you.
think. I don't think it's a money issue now. I think more or less it's a negotiation
Mm-hmm.
thing. If a player wants to leave, there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it, especially in the present day. So the thing is, she has to. It's all about negotiation. Abdullah, give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Give me
Yeah.
2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be back.
Okay. So yeah, so for me, like what you said, it's all about negotiation phase, even which I agree with. But also, I also think, yes, we might lose Lukaku, which is understandable, losing Lukaku. But also, there has to be an understanding where even if we lose Lukaku, there have to be a way where we can easily compromise and find a way to make it work. Because you can't have a player who is not happy in a club. It's difficult because if you're having a player who is not even happy in the club, the risk is you bring him into the squad. It doesn't feel happy. It doesn't feel welcome. It's gonna cause an issue over Hopwell, and you have a new owner now where I don't even want that kind of scenario to happen. Yet it has happened under Roman. This is a new era. Roman has left us. There's a new era now. So I don't want a situation where we have a player who is unhappy and doesn't want to play anymore, and we are forcing him just because we don't have the money. We're forcing him to stay. That doesn't bode well for me. Looking at it, it doesn't bode well because now we're having a player who doesn't want to play for the club, is not happy. Everything is not going right for him, and we are forcing him to like, oh, Lukaku, if the team that he wants to go doesn't pay this amount of money and blah 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 blah, we're not gonna allow you stay. So
But the thing
I can
is,
understand
the
gonna
thing
scare
is,
tactics, but that's a dangerous tactics to play because now you bring Lukaku into a team, into a new season where his player doesn't even trust him. He's not happy.
but the thing is, this is just the 2nd of June,
Yeah.
so I won't be breaking sweat over it. And they're going to
Hmm.
find some kind of resolution.
Yeah.
So I don't think Chelsea fans should really be worried. I think I would be more worried if Lukaku was sticking around because then I'll have the fear
At this moment, still
of
say at
my
this moment is at the moment right now he is staying because they haven't found a compromise yet in that deal. So right now he is staying.
yeah, but he's made his intentions known that he wants to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still our player.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point we'll have to negotiate an outlet for him. So in that case, I have no fear because there's plenty of time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't think negotiating for a player to go on loan or to go to leave the club is more difficult than bringing a player into the club. I think bringing a new player into the club might be more difficult, negotiation wise,
Mm-hmm.
you know, than negotiating for a player to leave.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't lose sleep over that really. But that's that's by the wayside. But I don't think Chelsea. I don't want us to go with the mode or state of mind that it has to be financially reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I don't want us to go into that to be in that kind of mode to say it has to be financially reasonable before we allow him to live in one form or the other. I think we should think about it like we're going to make losses because I think in this current market, I don't think if anybody will pay 100 million for Lukaku,
No.
and I think we shouldn't have paid. But his stock rose because of the season
Mm-hmm.
he had before then, and he was the
Yeah.
champion. So his status was quite high, really. So, but I don't think anybody. I don't think he was worth 100 million then, and I don't think anybody's going to pay 100 million for him now.
But
If
Abdul, why is Marina demanding a 70 million? Because the two clubs that want to buy him would not pay that money. They would not.
maybe that's her starting position. Maybe realistically, she's looking for something between I don't know 55 and 65, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe she wants to start higher. you know. So I don't. I don't know, but I think we should realize we're going to make a loss and a
Yeah,
very big
I'm
loss.
willing to take a loss on Lukaku for me. I'm willing to do that for me. Take a
Because
loss
I
on
mean, if
him.
you look at it with this new guys buying Chelsea, I
Mm-hmm.
thought we're supposed to be a debt-free club.
Yeah, we're debt free. But Abdul, we have so many players in this club that are on high wages. We have to clear them out first. It's very important. Simo is on 270. Lukaku 355. So many players are in that team that are Marcos Alonso getting high wages. So like so many of them has to be cleared out first. It's very important because now new owners don't want to pay too much for players because of the high wages they're having. So it's a big job for us to do in the summer because it's gonna be a big clear out.
Exactly, but unfortunately, we actually negotiated our way into that corner.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, we have to negotiate our way out of the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So only Chelsea can do it for ourselves, but we cannot just be in that state and be
Mm-hmm.
hoping that something will happen. We have to negotiate ourselves out of it, and we have to move forward. But you see, that's why I said I prefer us to actually build a team season to season,
Yeah.
and whichever pieces are missing, let's let's find a way of adding those pieces. I don't understand this long-term plan where you have like 20, 25, 30 players out on loan because you're expecting them, or you're expecting that you might be able to absorb them into the team, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe you might flip them for whatever. I just don't understand that. So if a player, if we're not trying to develop a player, maybe a player from the academy, what business have we got, putting out those players on extensive loan systems, loan after loan after loan after loan? I don't think it does well for the PR of the club.
Yeah.
You know, if they're an academic player, then it's understandable. We know we're like in a building, in a development process.
Yeah.
Just to buy a player 21, 22, and then you start loaning them continuously, 3, 4 seasons, they're still out on loan because nobody's going to take them off you. I don't know what the ultimate is, because you might say, okay, in the future, these players will develop into Chelsea standard, and you'll be able to integrate them back into the team,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But what's the probability? If you look at the players we bought in 2017, 2018,
Yeah.
the group of players we bought, the group of project players we bought, hoping that they'll become big, or they'll become Chelsea quality or
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea standard. I would say possibly is maybe only Rudiger that has only succeeded in this path.
Yeah.
Most of the other players, they are either still on loan, or actually their value have diminished to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point getting all those players then? The Zabacostas, Danny Drinkwater, Ross Barkley, Rudiger, Babaram, no, not Babaram, and then Kepa, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Only Rudiger has actually come good, and we're still losing him for free.
It's sickening, man. Abdul, it's
You know
sickening.
what I
The
mean?
amount
So
of this we've
we've
done
just
has been
exactly. So it means we've just developed a player to be ready made for a
and
Real Madrid.
exactly
And Chelsea, what did Chelsea get in return? Well, some people
nothing.
would say we got a few trophies in return. So fair enough, but that is just one out of the many players.
Mm-hmm.
If maybe 70% of the players we got at that time have actually success, Chelsea
Mm-hmm.
success,
Yeah.
then it might be understandable. But most
Mm-hmm.
of those players did not even contribute to our success. What's Zapacosta's contribution to all the trophies we've won in the past four
Mm-hmm.
seasons? What's Ross Barkley's contribution to Chelsea's success for the past 4 seasons? What's Kepa's contribution to our success over the past 4 seasons? It's not like they've really make an impact. Yet some of them, they're either on loan or the best out of the bunch, which is Rudiger, we actually lost him for free.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so I don't agree on this building teams for long term basis. We should a big team should build a team for the season and
Yeah.
have a target for the season. If we meet our target for that season, fine. If we don't, then we move the next season, and then we'll build again for the next season. You know, you can't be building for 3, 4 seasons and hoping that in 3, 4, 5 seasons a player will come good.
Vote for Office said, I watched a Tuchel Bundesliga highlight video earlier. Tuchel had an Andre Schole and there was all be balling when he was at Mainz. Tuchel get a great player ID. He's going to prove it. What Tuchel did with that main side was see. I watched that main side little bit, but the one I watched much was the Borussia Dortmund one, where I was like
Okay,
very
okay.
very impressed with. But
Let,
the
let me
main
ask
one I watched a little bit about it. But the
let me
Bundes
ask a
MD
question.
Dortmund one, oh my god, that team was phenomenal, man.
Let me ask a question. Um, the men's team, that
Hmm.
was the team Tuchel went to
Yeah, after Klopp left, he took over from Klopp.
before he went to Borussia, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, okay. So people say he was in charge of this club and he did well. It's easy to do well when you're in control of a club
Hmm.
with no pressure,
Yeah.
no pressure to deliver, and you
Hmm.
have time. Don't forget you are an employee of an organization when you're a manager,
Yeah.
right? Imagine working in an organization where the pressure is not as much and you are given time
Hmm.
to build in whatever direction and in whatever image that you
Hmm.
want. You know, we've seen it in the Premier League here ourselves. We saw what what's it called? Um, Brendan Rodgers did in Swansea.
Hmm.
We saw what Kevin Keegan did in Fulham and did in Man City,
Yeah.
right? We saw what even did we see what is it Eddie Howe did in Beaumont.
Bournemouth. Yeah.
So it's okay when there's no pressure, there's no target, and you have time.
Hmm.
It's totally
Hmm.
different compared to when you're managing a club and you're expected to deliver season in, season out.
Yeah. He
You
beat
know,
Bayern in his first professional year as a manager. That means in the second season, he finished in the Europa League places.
I don't know what is that supposed to mean.
I think what he's saying is people are questioning Thomas Tuchel player ID, and he said, I think he's gonna prove everybody wrong in terms of his players ID. That's what he's saying.
Well, I'm not questioning his player ID. So I don't know what this guy is talking about.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
one thing you have to recognize is, it's not when you see a player in a club, either in a big club or in a top club or in a Premier League club or
Mm-hmm.
in a Bundesliga Division One club. It's not when you see a player there that actually that player is made or that player was discovered. People in football circles sometimes know all these players when they were like 14, 15,
Mm-hmm.
before they were acquired or coming to the first team. People were
Mm-hmm.
talking about Wayne Rooney when he was 14, 15 in the football circles. In the football circle, that
Yeah.
is a kid that is very good, that is 15 playing for Everton.
Yep.
People knew that, the public didn't know that, and he wasn't popular,
I
right?
agree.
People knew Ronaldo when he was in
Even
is it
Lukaku
is in
Everton and
Tottenham.
West Bromwich Albion.
No, no, no. I even knew him at Anderlecht
Anderlecht, yeah,
when he
Anderlecht.
was like 17, 18.
17, 18, yeah. I remember
Before
very well.
Chelsea actually acquired him. I knew him then.
Yeah. I remember very well. Yeah, that's true. That's very
So people
correct.
forget that when they just see players in top clubs, then they think like, oh, is that manager that discovered that player? People know about these kids in the football circle. before they come into limelight.
Fair
So,
enough.
so I don't know what this guy means by um, player ID.
So let's talk about this guy, Abdul. The reporter has been the report just came out like 5 minutes ago.
Okay,
Serge Gnabry has decided not to renew his contract with Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich has offered him in the morning. He
two
has
seconds.
rejected it.
Two seconds. I'm uncertain now.
He said what? Okay. According to the report we're hearing, guys, is Serge Gnabry has decided not to accept Bayern deal. So Bayern has offered him the money, but apparently, um, apparently the money Bayern Munich offered him, Serge Gnabry didn't accept that. He said he has rejected the money. So, guys, where does Serge Gnabry goes to? Madrid, PSG. Where does he go? Because now he wants to leave. He only has 1 year on his deal. And in the German press, Serge Gnabry said it's not even about money; it's about appreciation. That it's not been appreciated enough in Bayern. So that's the reason he wants to leave. That he's not gonna renew any contract. So I don't know. That is kind of a little bit sickening for me because he said it's not even about money. It's about uh, it's all about appreciation. So I don't know. Abdul, second Abril, where does it go?
What's the
The
current
latest
news?
is Bayern has offered him money. According to the highly reported in Germany, Christian Fox, he said it. Bayern has offered Serge Gnabry money and everything, but he has rejected it. And Bayern said they were not going to go further anymore. And no talks is planned anymore. It's over. Serge Gnabry is leaving Bayern. So Bayern are gonna be losing Lewandowski on the 1 year, who has 1 year more on his contract, is leaving. The chapter is closed. Gnabry has 1 year more on his contract, is leaving. Both of them are saying they're not being appreciated enough by Bayern. I don't know what Abdul. I don't know what's going on.
So, are we saying except um, somebody buys him, or he's going to play out his last year with
He said
Bayern?
he wants to leave. Both him and Lewandowski wants to go. He said because people asking me, they asked Gnabry in the German presser, is it about money? He said no. He said it's about appreciation that Bayern is not appreciating him enough. Same thing also with Lewandowski. Lewandowski said he's not been appreciated enough by Bayern, so he wants to leave. Both players want to leave with the lack of being appreciated by Bayern Munich. It's not even about the money. They said if it's about the money, they will have signed long time ago.
Yeah. If they want to leave, they're going to I don't know, leave if Bayern wants them
Mhm.
to leave. If Bayern allows them to leave, if Bayern doesn't allow them to leave, they will have to play out the last season.
But the problem, see, Abdul, Bayern are playing a dangerous game. You know why? They have
Yeah.
two players who doesn't want to play for the club anymore. Unhappy. No, you're gonna play them for the upcoming season. It will disrupt this chemistry of that team, and it might not go well because now if a player wants to go, just cash him on him. Let's go buy players who can replace him, who is really willing to play because you're gonna be leaving the player who has 1 year on his contract, who doesn't want to even stay and wants to go, and you want to keep them playing because they have 1 year. You want to keep renewing that, want to leave them to like their season runs out. That doesn't make any sense to me because they are playing a
I think
dangerous game.
I think these players are just making the club aware in their own way that they are not going to extend their contract.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a matter of we will never, never, never wear Bayern shirt again.
Mm-hmm.
So I
No,
think
no,
it's just
for Lewa, he said it. He said the chapter is closed for him. It's not coming. He said it's closed for him already.
well. So what's he gonna do? He has a contract.
That's what Oliver Kahn said. Oliver Kahn said he has a contract, and Lewa said he doesn't care. He wants to go. Whether Bayern like it or not, they have to find a way to
No,
ship out
no, but
Lewandowski. They have to
but
find a way.
it's easy to say on paper, but he has a contract.
Yeah,
What's he gonna
Abdul,
do?
that's what I'm saying. That it's a dangerous game that they are playing because Lewa has made his opinion known already, both for the club and international level, and he said it. I want to
Yeah,
go.
but the thing is, if Bayern doesn't release you, you're not gonna go.
Yeah.
it's not going to look bad on Bayern. It's going to look bad on you.
Yeah, and I think it
So
might affect him as a player too, though.
exactly. So I don't know what he means by he wants to leave. He has a contract with Bayern. He might not play for Bayern again for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Bayern might decide to not use him, right? But they wouldn't sell him either. They
But
have that
Abdul,
power.
it's a loss because if Bayern doesn't lose him, they don't have a goal scorer like Lewandowski in that squad that can give them 35 goals or
It,
40
does,
goals
it,
a
it,
season.
it doesn't matter. They're still going to win the league or come second anyway.
Bayern, see,
They,
if Bayern comes second, they are signing Nagelsmann. You know that if they come second, Nagelsmann will go. You know because every year they want to win that Bundesliga, and they tell them finish second, Nagelsmann is gone. If that happens,
yeah, they will just blame it on other players, other factors. Really, they don't have to win the Champions League every season, and they're going to come first or second. So I don't know what. Um,
where do you
to
think the
me,
guy? Where do you think he can go? Madrid,
who
PSG,
who
Serge Gnabry.
to be honest, he kind of looked to me like a player who can only be considered a great player if he remains at Bayern. To be honest with you, because he's a wing player,
Yeah, it's more of
right?
an inside forward for me though.
Yeah, but he's not a striker. He's not an out and out striker.
Yeah,
He's not a natural winger. So he's like a forward player. So he's like one of those players. To me, I look at him like he can only do well if he plays in a Bayern.
yeah,
He can only be he can only have this status if he remains at Bayern.
yeah.
If he goes to, I don't know, PSG, you might forget about him. You might not even notice him because he'll probably be on the bench. If he goes to Real Madrid, you might not notice him because he might just be a squad player. I think this status he can only maintain it if he remains at Bayern.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way he can go to a top club if he
Mm-hmm.
leaves Bayern Munich is if he runs down his contract and places, you know, his last year,
Yeah.
places contract out, then other team will think like, okay, he's a good addition, and then they're getting him for free.
But Abdul, it's gonna be a dangerous game. Bayern might lose because if he runs out his contract and say, "Okay, I'm gonna play my last contract finish the end of the season," you might see this is the game Bayern might play, and it might not go work well for them. They are playing a dangerous game where Lewandowski is not gonna stay. He wants to go, and he has publicly come out and said, "I want to leave. Whether Bayern like it or not, I'm done. My chapter is closed with them." Unhappy player who's not going to give their best for Bayern. That is not the game Bayern wants to play. Serge Gnabry will not even play them. It will not even play at the level we know Serge Gnabry to play at. Now you are getting a 3/10 or a 2/10 of of Gnabry. You get 1/10 of Bayern. Bayern is gonna lose matches because matches they're
But,
supposed to
but,
win,
the,
they
thing
will be
is,
losing. Now it's
but
gonna
the,
cause a
the thing
commotion
is,
in between the dressing room.
the thing is, I don't really think whatever happens to them is actually going to affect Bayern because the most important players in Bayern actually understand the politics of Bayern.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they have people like the goalkeeper.
And when
They
yeah,
have people like what's this guy's name? The guy that looks young that's been playing for them for like 10 years now.
Jamal Musiala, is that the one you're talking
No, no,
about?
no. He looks young. He's like what's his name?
Oh, what are you talking about?
The guy that scored against Chelsea in the Champions League in 2012.
Thomas Muller.
Yeah, Mola. They have players like Mola. They have
Mm-hmm.
players like Sane. They have players like is it
I know this
Davison?
scary part, Abdul.
Yeah.
Sane wants to go. Gnabry wants to leave. Lewandowski wants to leave. Both of them, those three players, has 1 year in their contract. I think Sane has two or three, if I'm not mistaken. But see now, Bayern is missing three important players in their team. If they are playing this game in which they're not gonna win it because those three players are the most important players in their team. Gnabry is important. Sane is very pivotal. Gnabry is pivotal. Robert Lewandowski has been scoring for Bayern for the past 8 or 9 years.
No,
30
no, no.
something, 40
So
something, 50
let
goals
me
in a
let me
season.
let me let me put it to you this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. We all understand. We all have come to realize or know that these teams are like institutions,
Mm-hmm.
don't we?
Yeah.
Right. So no player can be bigger than these clubs.
Yeah, I know.
And these clubs, because they are in institutions within the country, they exist. So
Yeah.
it's not a matter of a league to them; it's a matter of country to them, right? They are
Mm-hmm.
institutions not in the league, but in the country. They exist. So there's nothing that is going to happen to those clubs that will really um, shake the club in a way. It's like, do you have any fear that something will happen to Barcelona, no matter the crisis?
I don't think so. They'll find
Not
a way.
exactly, they always find a way. So it's the same thing with Bayern. I mean, Barcelona, when they got so desperate, they just allowed Messi to leave. Can you imagine a team allowing Messi to leave, even if he's like 90 years old?
Hmm.
And Bayern goes on. I'm sorry, Barcelona goes on. The same thing is going to happen to Bayern. They're not going to be shaken or disturbed or perturbed by any other player, because to them the players are just employees.
Yep.
So no matter what happens,
Mm-hmm.
if if players have to be allowed to leave, or there's some kind of like struggle between them and players,
Mm-hmm.
nothing will happen. They'll still go on. You know, long live Bayern. They don't care about these players.
Hmm.
So I don't know what they mean by um they don't get the respect they think they deserve from these clubs. If you say to Bayern you don't deserve you're not getting the respect you deserve, Bayern will start like putting out names for you. Maybe you should compare yourself to some of those names,
Hmm.
and then you will realize that you are nothing in the hierarchy of status or hierarchy of things.
Because Abdul, what you said, because Oliver Kahn said the same thing with Lewandowski when he said that in person. Oliver Kahn was like, okay, we know you want to go, but why do you say that in public and let people know your opinion? He said now you are playing a dangerous game in which it might cause an issue in the dressing room. And Lewa was like, I want to go. I don't care. I want to leave. Either you sell me now, or we might find a way to cause an issue in the dressing room. And Lewa is a big player. See, Abdul, I can understand what you say, but a player like Lewandowski, you don't want to risk him. You do not want to risk a player like that because you're not gonna get 100% of Lewa. You will get like max 25% of Lewa, and that is not good for Lewa Bayern Munich at all. That is not good.
No, no, but what I'm saying to you is, if there's an issue between Lewandowski and Bayern, he's not going to be a part of the team, right? He's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be part of the squad for whatever reason. Maybe not even the squad. He's not. They're just going to like put him to one side and Bayern moves on.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to like say, "Oh, we'll just play." That's what I'm saying. These clubs are like institutions, establishments.
Mm-hmm.
You're either part of the establishment, or you're against the establishment and you just put your side.
Fair enough. EJ, how you doing, brother? Long time.
Oh yeah, it's been a while. How you doing?
Where have you been? You've been going to school making money. I'm suspecting you. You this boy. You are making big money.
Oh,
Dash me some. I have cash app. I have
big-
Snapchat.
not big money, but yeah, money. Yeah, yeah, right.
Money is money, whether big or small. Money is money.
I
How
guess.
have you been?
Yeah, I've been good.
Chilling, 14-time champion. I know you are chilling, just enjoying yourself. It's
Yeah,
understood.
yeah. I mean, that was almost heart attack every match. But
I understand how you feel as a Madrid fans.
yeah.
Sometimes you might break your TV or laptop. It's understood.
Nah, nah. It hasn't gone to that yet.
It's it's understood. So, how happy are you with Tony Rudiger?
Oh man, I'm very happy. I'm just like, will he get enough play time?
That's what people. Okay, you are Madrid fans now. People are saying that he's gonna be benched on Ancelotti. Do you think so?
That's what I'm not sure of. I don't know how that will play out. But it's Ancelotti. He knows how to
Because Bilton and Muntaha said to me that there's no way you are bringing Tony Good guy and you put him on the bench. He said no. That you're gonna bring it Tony Good guy. Either Alaba goes back to left back, or you have to find a way to play Rudiger.
Yeah, that's exactly. I can answer the question right now. We have to see what happened preseason,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna let the manager decide. Like Militao, he plays good sometimes, he plays bad, and so I think the competition was needed. And I think with Rudiger, maybe it's gonna play better now. But I think they can rotate sometimes too. So it's not like hey, Rudiger have to play every time. And like you said, Alaba can go with Fernandes. We know Fernandes is good, but
Mm-hmm.
his attacking isn't that sufficient. He's good defensively most of the time, but Alaba has both.
Mm-hmm.
When he plays fullback, he can go offense and he can defend pretty well too, like we saw this season. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that will play out yet. But one thing I know is Alaba is a starter, so is I think his Militao make the way of Mendy. That's one thing I'm sure on.
So somebody have to pay
What
for you.
is the leadership of Alaba? Like the way he just came into our dressing room this year, the impact he has had on Militao.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's like he succeeded. What they call he surpassed expectation. If you
Yeah.
ask, me.
Same thing goes to Rudiger too because he's in the dressing room too. You need a player like Rudiger in the dressing room. We gotta miss a player like him.
Yeah, especially with Christensen also going, Alonso maybe. I mean,
As Piqueta going to.
thought we have a lot of things to to do some. That's a lot of replacement. Like, yeah, that's a lot
I'm
of.
Yero Kounde, Koulibaly, and Co. So we'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
So
Kounde has been linked for like years now.
yeah, yeah. He wants to go, so we understand. Even Sevilla already said it that once they can agree deal with the Chelsea and everything, Conte is officially a Chelsea player.
I
So
mean,
they
I don't know. They may ask for a lot of money because
yeah, they're asking for his release clause, which is closely to 65 million euro, possibly like $50 million, which Chelsea are willing to pay.
they will probably want that because they just thought that second best central
Yeah,
back.
Diego Carlos.
Diego Carlos. So like
Yeah.
losing your two center back, they will have to. They want to get as much money as they want to.
Mhm.
So
And I think
in- them-
I was told that Kunde already turned in a transfer request and told them that they have to accept Chelsea deal.
yeah, I mean that's what what's it called? That's what is happening. Players have the powers nowadays, but
Mhm.
like I hear you were talking about Lewandowski, how he
So,
approached.
firstly, give me your take on Romelu Lukaku because he's been given three options. Inter wants to go back to Inter Milan, and Marina was like, first loan, 2 years loan with obligation to buy. Inter said option. Marina said no. 70 million obligation to buy. Then boom, here comes Lukaku. The second option is Lautaro Martinez swap deal on a permanent deal. Inter hasn't responded yet. And the third option is Chelsea are looking into Robert Lewandowski and they tell Bayern, okay, we're gonna give you Lukaku, but there's a price tag on his head, which is 70. And I keep telling people, I've never seen anything in my entire life watching Bayern pay 70 for a player like Lukaku. Max they can pay 50 million.
Yeah, they don't pay much.
Bayern will never pay 70 for Romelu Lukaku. Never ever would they do that. Never. But Bayern are losing Lewandowski and Serge Gnabry. They are bringing in Sadio Mane and possibly Lukaku. That's huge for them.
I mean, I would say maybe what's it called? I mean, Mane is huge, but Lukaku,
Mhm.
I'm not, I'm not so sure about Lukaku because of the way he has played this past season. If he
Mhm.
got like 13 goals now, if,
But EJ, it is Bundesliga. So
yeah,
what can I expect?
you can say that, but like really, you can say, oh, it's Bundesliga, but he at Chelsea, we expect him to score more than I think 15 goals this season.
He's got 15 already in non-competition.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think they want that deal. But like you said, is Bundesliga maybe it can connect well.
Mhm.
Maybe they'll play two strikers. I don't know, but like we all know, in two strikers, he knows how to play his game very well. Like we saw
Yeah.
with Stamina. And when the squad is built around him, I think that's when he flourished. When
Yeah.
they're always looking for him. and not
Yeah.
him like looking for
So
people
player.
like
Mm-hmm.
we see in Chelsea, like he's always looking for someone to give him the ball. So I
Mm-hmm.
think when the team is built around him, but with Will Bayern play that way, building around him, I am not so sure because they play really good attacking football. So if they
Mm-hmm.
just down Lukaku, I'm not so sure. But like you said, he can score more goals. But if I have an option in all of them, I would pick Bayern and Lewandowski swap if I was Lukaku because it just makes sense. Going with Martinez, I'm still not sure about Martinez. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, he plays
Okay.
good for Inter Milan. He plays good for Argentina.
Argentina.
Like we saw yesterday, like
Yeah. I
even
saw
though
they go.
even though it was a friendly game or whatever you want to call it, he still had a good game. And the pass to Di Maria, that was a good order play by him. So it's good, but if I was Chelsea, if I was Marina, if I was your new owner, I'll
Mm-hmm.
probably go. Even though we're gonna know Lewa doesn't have a lot to give right now. He's 34 right now, or
It will be
30,
34 in September or something like that. It's 33 now. It will be 34.
like the maximum we can get for him is maybe 2 years. But you
3 years. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
never know with this player because you see, look at Modric right now, like
Yeah.
a midfielder still running the game. Yeah,
And EJ, you know what causes the problem? Lewa is demanding 3 years from Bayern. Bayern said no. They're gonna give him just 2 years.
I heard the news too. Yeah, I've been.
So that is where the conflict came in. That because Lewa has been getting angry with Bayern for a very long time. He said they have been twerking for Haaland, 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 Haaland,
Yeah,
Haaland for the past.
that we are not anyone, especially when you have players like a Lewandowski that is giving you goals. When you get
Exactly, because
Champions
the
League,
rumor I'm hearing is even the Bayern Munich fans have been saying that what is going on? We have been working for Haaland for like a year now. He has gone to he has gone to Man City, and
yeah.
you have a player in Lewandowski who is on contract negotiation with you guys. You are working for
Well, I mean,
Haaland.
I get it as they're a club. They don't look at. I mean, I said look. Lewandowski is gonna go one of these days, so they have to
Mhm.
plan for the future. I think that's why they were trying to
But
get.
you see, if you're gonna plan for the future, you have to get that player. You have to get him. Not working for him for like, and later on you didn't get him.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we took for someone too, and he left us. So that's on that conversation. So I think that's what they
What do
were.
you think is best for Romelu Lukaku?
I mean, if I'm Lukaku, I know he work with. I don't know how he will work with the new manager. I know he worked really well under Conte.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't. What's the new manager name?
Nagelsmann, Julian Nagelsmann.
No, no, for
Simone Inzaghi.
yeah, Inzaghi. So, and he doesn't really play two. Yeah, he actually play two strikers too up front, but like it's not the same core because you have Perisic now gone to
Juventus. I said Juventus. Tottenham Hotspur.
Tottenham, and I think it's Jekyll now is I think he left already too. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not really the same players. Arturo Vidal too is gone. So like,
Mm-hmm.
what would they do this summer? So I think the best option is for him to go to Bundesliga, where yeah, all they're doing now is to get the attackers. They have a good midfield. Maybe they can do more with that defense. I don't think the defense is that impressive.
Mm-hmm.
We can still that in this year Champions League. The defense went them down.
Yeah.
But if I was him, I would go to Bundesliga because it's just like a new team, a different coach, and it's what you like. You want the ball, you want to be always attacking, and that's something. And you have a lot of creative players like Kimmich, you have Thomas Muller, like you said before. So he's still there. Musiala, which is upcoming.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a chance to get a lot of goals over there, but it's just like, do you really want to play with unhappy players? Because, like you said before, you see Sani is unhappy. He wants to
He's
leave.
unhappy. He wants to leave. Ganabri.
You have
He wants to go official. See, that's what I'm telling Abdul. Bayern are playing a dangerous game. They are three most attacking. They are three most important and very vocal wants to leave. Who they rely on now? They have to see the money they don't want to spend. They will have to spend that money.
yeah, I
They
think
will have to,
it would be best for them to just let go of these players, but because you don't want to have the unhappy players in your squad, like I don't care who.
especially Lewa, especially Lewandowski. See,
I
you
mean,
can let go of Sane and Ganaba and find a reasonable, decent replacement for them. But for Lewa, that's gonna give you 30 or 35 goals or 40 goals in a season.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
his personality in that team is gonna be
regardless
difficult.
of what happened this season, I still think they're gonna win the Champions League with or without Lewandowski because they will
The
take.
Bundesliga, sorry.
But hey, the Dortmund, who was the second this season, they lost their best. I mean, you can say it's their best player, even though he was injured most of this season. You know,
Hmm.
knocked out of the Champions League and Europa League, but you know, so I think that they can win that. But what they need is the Champions League, and they were disappointed this year, losing to Villarreal. I mean, we know Emery in UEFA competition is good, but you still have to think how did they lose that match? But you know, the best team doesn't always win, like they said about us, and people still
Hmm.
crying. Uh, okay, um, but I think if Lukaku should go to Bayern, it's going to be good for them. But it's just like, do they really want to play that dangerous game? Like you said, like do they really want to have Sani and Gnabry being unhappy? Do you want to have that in your squad? I
Hmm.
think that's what is happening to Pulisic right now too at
I will
Chelsea.
talk about him. Don't worry.
I
Don't
think
worry.
that's what is happening to Pulisic at Chelsea right now. He's unhappy, and when your father is going out tweeting, uh, whatever he tweeted, I forgot the context, but you know,
Relax.
I know he tweeted something and he
Hmm.
later took it down. But you know,
Hmm.
they want to have that in your squad. So I think it's just what is best for Lukaku, is what is best for Chelsea, and I think that's what would be best for Bayern too, because I don't think one is enough, but three of them, yeah, that's you acting so much now. You just gotta let go of him. But if he goes to Inter Milan, I know he's gonna do well. Inter Milan works too, but you know, we saw what Lukaku did at Inter, and when he went to Chelsea, he
Hmm.
didn't have that. I think the interviews caused every even make it even worse.
Yeah.
So, but will Martinez do the same? Going to give interview like that? I don't think so. But it's a good striker, but I still think there's some flaws in his game. You know, he's not consistent like a Lewandowski, a Benzema too. But he's still young. I think 25, 26, something like that.
He's 24. He's 24.
Oh, 24. So
Hmm.
maybe he won't have any ego to take and coach him. You know, Lukaku just came off of a strong campaign, so maybe that got into his head. He got his dream back. He wanted to go to Chelsea and prove a point, but that didn't work out well. And
Hmm.
clash with Tuchel. But you know, this season maybe if you know I'm really excited about him going. I mean, you guys did the swap deal with Inter, but do Tuchel really want him or he just wants, to get rid of him? Does Tuchel approve this or did it just come from Marina? So
That's AJ. You are learning. You're exactly saying my point. That is where the problem is. Is it is it Tuchel signing or the boss signing? Because now, if there's an issue between Lukaku and Thomas Tuchel, there have to be a resolution. Lukaku have already come out and said it. I don't want to play for Chelsea. I don't want to stay anymore beyond this summer. Tuchel doesn't want him.
yeah,
Now there's fight between him and Tuchel, and in front of his players, in front of players like Kai Havertz and Mason Mount, looking at them and coming to this issue, I'm like, they have to resolve these issues. Now he wants to get sold. But they have to be the right prices for him to get sold. That's what the problem is. He has to be the right price.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking is this Tuchel. I mean, Tuchel, whatever. But it is a signing. But I hope they can do something. But you know, let's see what he does in this little Nations League friendly in the international. Uh, you know, he's always balling for Belgium. So I don't know if Tuchel have to change something in Chelsea because
Mhm.
him at Belgium and Chelsea just look different to me every time I watch him. So, and like you said, I think he's a guy that always wants you guys to look for him. And you guys don't really do that at Chelsea because you have a lot of talent. You know, you have
Mhm.
average, you have Timo Werner, you have just a guy that they can create themselves. The ones goes for themselves, because they're also great players. So
Mhm.
you can say that the Inter Milan squad they're all great. They don't really have that talent Lukaku have, but at Chelsea, you guys have so many talent and guys that want to ball like Chris James. Also the top talent. So it's gonna be interesting what happens this summer, but I think the decision will be made after the this summer, hopefully before preseason maybe,
Mhm.
and let's see what happened after the Nations League. And
Okay. Hmm.
yeah, but if I was you guys, I would go for Lewandowski because he's more proven. And, yeah, I mean, I respect what's his name
Lautaro Martinez.
and his game, but you want to win now. I mean, that's what Chelsea's all about, like
Yep.
winning now. So I know the manager, I mean the owner have changed, but I'm pretty sure he also wants to win something at Chelsea, and
Yep.
he looks invested in it. So let's do. Me personally, would go for Robert Lewandowski. I know you probably have maximum of 3 years left,
Hmm.
but before then, you guys can just what's it called? Look for another option, like a new talent's coming up. Maybe Tammy Abraham, maybe
Easy, 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 easy. Relax. Easy, relax,
call
relax.
him back home. You never know.
Don't do this to us. Relax. Respect Lamia Bala. Respect.
Conference League winner. Don't nah.
Relax. I know, but easy, easy, easy on Abraham. Easy on Abraham. Easy. So your take on Sad Canabri, because I've been saying it again. Bayern is losing Lewandowski and they're already losing Sad Canabri. Now, the problem that Bayern have to face is they have to replace both of them. Both. Both Lewa and Ganabri. And the rumor we are hearing is Sergio Mane might be the one that who goes for
Yeah,
Sad
yeah.
Ganabri. And who are they going to go for Lewandowski? I'm hearing might be Umelo Lukaku. So, Ganabri leaving. What's your take on that?
I think that's obviously like a big miss. But this season I think it has been poor for like all of the attackers. Even Sani, it wasn't like the what is it called? I forgot the word I was going to use, but I think this season if he leaves, that's a huge gap they're gonna be missing in the attack and how they play the football because he can play both left, he can play both wings in the attack. So we will see what happens. But I think he's really a big his connection with Kimmich is always there when you see them play. You just know how to play with them with Thomas Muller. They know how to rotate, how to just each one of them can play out of position so the attack can be more fluid. So it's just it don't make sense. I don't know what's going on at Bayern for all of them to be unhappy right now. And I just saw he rejected a renewal offer the Bayern. So if that is happening, do you really want to give? Like I said before, two, we don't know about signing so much yet, but do you want to keep two unhappy players in your squad? That doesn't work well with you. That won't work well with you. So it's about time probably they move on. Maybe he wants a new challenge, but I don't know where it's going. I know it's been linked to Real Madrid, and I think it will be class for us because right now we have no right winger. We just use Valverde as a makeshift right winger. So could that work for Real Madrid? Would they sell him for us? I don't know his what's it called? His transfer fee, but I think Gnabry is missing there is a huge miss for them, and they will have to build a new chemistry for almost all of them because those players coming in, they probably want the ball to be played to them differently. So preseason will be it will be huge for them, but Gnabry now being a buyer will probably look weird because he's been there almost for like 5 years now since he left Arsenal. So it's a huge miss, but I don't know what they can do. I don't know what they can do. Uh, Missing Gnabry and Lewandowski is really big because those are two big names like you will want on your squad. So we will see what Bayern do. But that right wing, that's a really big shoe to miss because there's not really any top right winger out there right now that I can think of. Except maybe Raheem Sterling that also want to leave Man City. Would they go for Raheem Sterling at Man City? But Raheem cost like really a huge money. So I don't know what they would do to them. Or would they go for Riyad Mahrez? Maybe. But I don't think Riyad Mahrez want to move away from Man City right now. So it's gonna be tough for Bayern this next few weeks, month, until their next season. So but hopefully they can get them sold and buy some more players to replace them. Maybe like a Dembele, even though he has been playing to Chelsea this season and PSG. So what would they do about that situation? It is looking really fun. This season is looking. It looks like it might be crazier than last year. So we just have to watch and look.
Uh, let's talk about somebody, the American endorsement. So be able to round it off. Abdul, Pulisic. Your take on Pulisic because right now I can break his head right now because it's annoying me. So give me your
Yeah,
take
I
on
mean,
Pulisic.
my take on Pulisic is very, very simple, right? This season, he's had an average season for Chelsea. And I've always said that the issue with Pulisic is his physicality. He is not strong enough for what we want him to be doing at Chelsea. So he needs to improve his physicality. You know how Salah, when he first came to Chelsea, was quite skinny. And then he went to Italy and then built up and became really strong. I think Pulisic needs to go through this kind of phase where he needs to build his physicality because there's a talent there and there's nobody really denying the talent. And he's actually showcased his talent once before at Chelsea, but it's very, very difficult for him. So he doesn't have the body to actually deliver what he's capable of. So he has to do something. I'm not sure. Is maybe it's during the COVID time or maybe before then. I think he went and built up and he got a bit big, right? Then he had an hamstring injury. So I think maybe he didn't do it properly or maybe he did it too quickly. Then he got injured and then you can see his body frame changed again. Maybe he sort of, moved away from the exercise that he was doing before or the kind of training he was doing beforehand. So I think his major issue is actually his physicality. He needs to have go develop proper strength, like a man's strength. So I think he still carries a boy's strength, and it's not easy for what we want him to do. But if he has the strength, he would deliver. You know, without that, he's just going to continue on this kind of roller coaster. Play one good game, four bad games, one good game, three poor games, and things like that. So I think that's the only issue I have with Pulisic, but I don't know what they relate to him at the club, you know. And his body language, in a way, seems like he's not really, really happy under Tuchel because I think he doesn't like it when Tuchel started using him as a right wing back. He tried to do his job there, but I think he wants to play further ahead. And ultimately, I think he thinks he's actually a real number 10, 10, 10, 10. But we don't play the 4-2-3-1 at Chelsea, where he can play be the number 10. And even if we do, I don't think he can really play the number 10 in that kind of formation with the way he's currently built. So he just needs to get stronger, which I don't know. I don't know what kind of body he has. But if he does, he's going to deliver for Chelsea. And even if you look at him now, you can see that he's always putting himself in good positions when we're having games. Look at the final that we played the other day. Look at some of the chances he had, but he didn't have that strength, like to sort of actually, strike the ball. And he was just trying to place the ball, and it was missing and all that. So uh, that's my take on Pulisic. To be honest with you,
EJ, President Pulisic.
Actually, I know you talk about his physicality, which I totally agree with. I think he's too skinny. compared to the defender that is there in the Premier League, I think he just don't have the physicality. You have to be strong in the Premier League. You know, when you come against like ball player like Van Dijk and Konate, which I think has been great this season. Like Liverpool have a great squad. I think he hasn't been up to par. And like I said before, like in the final, I think he has to improve on his finishing also. I know they can give assist, but he's finishing this season. You guys could have won that FA Cup personally if you could finish most of his chances. And if he can be patient more, I think sometimes he just rush. The dribbling gets to his head that he just wants to dribble, dribble, dribble. I think sometimes I just have to calm. Sometimes I just have to take one fast touch instead of thinking, oh, I have to take these players on. There are moments I think he should take players on, and there are moments I think it should just be a one-time pass. I think that's something you have to add to his game. And like I said, his finishing has been really poor this season. And I go back to the FA Cup final. He has a lot of chances. That game would have been over. He wouldn't even have to go to extra time or penalty. But because of lack of finishing, that happened. And you guys lost another trophy, which I think Chelsea was the better team. But it happens. So the number 10, I'm not so sure as a Pulisic is a number 10. I don't see him in that Hazard role, which is what Hazard did for you guys, you know. Does he have the physicality to when defenders tackle him? I don't He doesn't have the urgency to just get back on his feet like Hazard will do, or fight off a tackle, he just goes straight on the floor, which is something I think, yeah, these days referee call yellow card and everything, but I just think somebody have to get over that. With time, will he do that this summer? I'm not so sure about that, but I think that's one thing about his game. Also, dribbling too much, his decision making is old enough to now know to have a good decision making, but he doesn't have that, and physicality is lacking for a Premier League club, especially when you want to beat the like of what's it called, Man City and Liverpool. So you guys can win the league or go deep in Champions League. That's two things about this game he has to improve. Is finishing and obviously decision making. And I think it's gonna do good for Chelsea. But I get the left wing is his best position, but you guys don't really play a 4-3-3, which is a straight attacking, which is what he did at Dortmund. You guys do more of the theory at the back, wing players, right back. I mean, or let's say right wing back, left wing back. Will he do well if what's this guy's name come back? Chilwell. Maybe he's gonna do better with Chilwell coming back because Chilwell knows how to play that side of the ball to combine with his the left winger, or let's say the two number 10s. Chilwell is always good at that. So maybe he's missing Chilwell. You need that in the squad sometimes, someone that can go attacking, that know how to do a 1-2 passing too. So it's gonna be interesting what happened to him this summer. But I think he just has to have a better decision making and practice finishing even more.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. I got what you said, fair enough. So, guys, we come to the end of this stream, guys. I beg, like the vid, subscribe, like the vid, subscribe, like the vid. Any news that maybe like a breaking or report news, we're gonna talk about it in terms of that aspect. We'll break it down. We'll talk to you guys. It might be tomorrow, might be weekend. Any breaking news we hear, we're gonna just make sure we talk about it. Like the vid, subscribe, like the vid, subscribe, guys. Make sure you smash the like button, guys. I beg, support us. We're on the road to 5K subscribers, guys. So like that video, subscribe, smash the like button, subscribe, guys. Guys, have a wonderful weekend and peace, guys. Stay safe. And YouTube, I beg,
No
notify
worries.
my fans. Notify
Take
my
care.
fans anything about notification. Send them notification. I beg YouTube, I beg. All right, peace out, guys.
Okay.
God
Big
God
up.
bless.
Bye.